Lurkers soul made the integration, but he found love in an ice-cold nation, singing songs and dreaming about home, calling on leaders to heed my call. It's time to stand together, my brother, heed the call. It's time to stand together, shake hands and help a broke side, yeah.
Oh, can't have your sound on. There we go. Had my phone on for a second to check that sound out. Yeah, it's really fun because I can see John will bring on in a second, and he's in the back room over here in the video. We were just jamming out to that song. We both picked up that tambourine. We were just giving it. Tambourines are not easy. I mean, I've had to do a lot of percussion. I had to do a lot of shakers, a lot of tambourines in studio work, and you would think that is easy. I'm going to tell you what. Try to do 3 minutes straight of a shaker and not change a dynamic or drop a beat. It's not easy, and it'll really test you. It's more mental than anything. It's like, so anyway, it's Tuesday, and I'm happy to be here. I am coming to you on the brand new A6400 Sony, and it's been a real trip to get here. As always, every time we increase our tech awareness and add to our bounty, it's just another thing in the chain, right? So it's just one more thing, and it's so much fun. As I always tell people, what I love about tech and why I want to do this is tech and gear and all that stuff that it'll get you up in the morning, it'll get you pumped, it'll get you psyched, but it'll also keep you up at night. You know, it's an overwhelming process. There's a lot of things involved. Sometimes there's a lot of money involved, so there's a little bit of fear and risk. But you know, hey, that's why we're here. That's why I do what I do. That's why John does what he does. And we really like that. We're really excited. I'm really excited about that. And it was brought to me recently as I went through and reevaluated my whole value system on what I want to do here, that just really dig into that, right? Find your value, not just for yourself, but what you want out of life, and go ahead and present that. I spent way too much time, as I'm new to all this, I spent a lot of time, I think, I talked to John about this, and I'll talk to him when he comes out, but we dip into so many other channels because that's a great way to learn, but sometimes that influences can put us in different spots, maybe that we're not supposed to be. So anyway, that's that. I'm anxious to talk to people. I have some opinions about this A6400. Hey, Clinton, how you doing? I'm gonna bring out John, and we'll say hi to everybody. I do have the A6400 up here. I do have my A5100 over here, and I'll talk about that in a second because I want to bring out John first and have a little bit of a group discussion. And I know some of you guys, I see Zan, I know some of you guys have this camera. Some of you don't. So let's get going. I'm going to bring John out here. So, you know, everybody do their applause. I don't have one of those applause buttons that John has. So, all right, John, let's come out here. How you doing? How's John doing tonight? Oh, I can't hear you. Hang on. Try this again.
What's up, everybody?
I'm not hearing John. Is anybody else hearing John, or is it just me? Okay, let me just.
I think they can hear me.
Somebody put down in the chat. Is it just me not hearing? There we are. That's me.
So
there we go.
I hear you.
Applause.
So Zan the Man is here.
He is.
And
I saw that right away.
Yeah. And I saw him on StreamYard this past week.
Oh, is that right? So
yeah,
you saw
he was
a friend on
show.
StreamYard.
They had him on the show.
Awesome.
And so that was pretty cool. And I got to see him as they went through his webpage a little bit and looked at things, his channel,
Okay.
Zan the Man. And he was surprised that he needed a capture card.
Uh-oh.
So they asked from you, what capture card do you have?
You know
And
what?
then,
We didn't touch on that, did we? When we had our
Yeah.
discussions, I just assumed he had one.
Yeah, well,
or-
everything's a learning curve when you knew.
Oh my! I'll make you feel better about that. We'll talk to Zan in a second.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
have
fun.
an echo. I can hear myself.
You think maybe let me check my echo settings.
I was wondering if they could hear it out there, but I could hear myself.
I am echo canceled off.
Yeah, I was too.
Do you have automatically adjust mic on?
Yes.
So do I.
The only problem is I can add this. It's just going to hamper me probably. But
I'll fight through it.
yeah, go ahead. You go. Keep going.
No, I mean no worries. So let's just say hi to everybody. We got, of course, Clinton's in the house. Howdy. And Sammy. I know Sammy's running a 6100, so that's cool. I'm glad to see you, Sammy. I know you've been busy. Sammy's liking the new haircut. I'm assuming he's talking about me.
So, you know, the funny thing.
Thank you, Sammy. I did get a cut. Thanks.
I just love to always say, even though I have mixed minus on, I have mixed minus and V mix,
Right.
and I still have an echo.
It's maddening.
So
I don't. I'm going to say hi to Marlene. You know, is there anything I can do, John? Can I?
I got everything I got done on my side, so I can't do anything else.
That's, yeah, not sure what that's. I mean, we did have a little snafu because speaking of Zan and the HDMI card, it's so great to see everybody stepping in and saying hi. I appreciate that, even if you're not here for a long time. I know Zan's probably got dinner in 5 minutes, but this guy, why is he jumping in here? Ugh, this guy, why would he even bother? Oh, Lala, how you doing? I tell you what, we talk about it every time, but those crafts are just amazing. All right, so Zan, here we go. Let me just drop Zan in here real quick. Here we go. It's showtime. It's not showtime unless Zan shows up with that big grin. So Zan, I'll make you feel a little bit better. I got the 6400. I already have an A5100, so I'm completely aware of HDMI cards. And I sat here and ordered my camera. And then all of a sudden one day, I think I was even talking to John one day, and I'm like,
Yeah, you texted him.
I was texting him like, I'm going to need an HDMI card for the second camera. Otherwise, it's going to be basically a paperweight. So, you know, I kind of forgot too, and I dumped that onto the A5100. Do you want to see? I didn't spend much time on any of this stuff, but I did throw up my front view here just to have it. So I've got a camera.
Congrats.
That's the 5100. I didn't really know where to put it for now. I just put it up there. I have some thoughts on that. I want to talk to you about that. But that camera is on the $19 HDMI card. So, you know, there you go. We got that going, so we got that second look. We'll get that flushed out. I do have some thoughts, though, about that, some problems. And John, he is in the house. Zan, you caught on. Glad you
Except
caught
my
that.
echo's not going to go away.
You want to come out and come back in? See if that does anything?
I don't think it's hardware. I don't think it's hard. I know it's not on my end.
You're saying it's my end, but I don't know what I can only send my signal, though. I don't really have you coming through me.
Check. I have double mix minus on.
Do you really? I could try to throw.
I'll go back out and come back in.
Yeah,
Let me try.
try to go. Let's get rid of John. Bring him back in a second. Thank you for the applause, Clint. Hope you're well. Should I bring him back in? I hope he is. He gonna? Oh, okay, let's try it. Or were you gonna log out and try to refresh, or you wanna? Nope. Because you could log out. Okay, yeah, I'll just do your thing. Yeah, we can hear him, but I guess the problem is he's double hearing himself. So Zan, when are you getting your camera? Do you have it yet? I thought you were going to get it this week, but I think it's later this week, if I'm not mistaken. And that must be a painful wait, because let me see here. We got Steve Worthy. You think he might be better? We'll see. Steve, how you doing? You've been busy getting after it. I really appreciate it. I got the 6400, Steve. It's up and running. I didn't put any flavor on it. Didn't do any whatevers. And
Do I have an echo?
I don't know. Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I could go out and come back in. You might want to go back. I mean, what I've done is gone back out, refresh the page.
Yeah, but this has never happened.
No, it's not. This is the first time. And
Because even if this happened, I would just add mix minus and it would take it away.
See, I could add echo cancellation on my end, but I think we're going to get worse.
Hello?
Test one.
Now, whatever you did, I have no echo.
I put on echo cancellation.
You put it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
No, we've been having it off. Yeah, I have. Dude, we ran into. Oh wait, we changed it again.
Yeah, you're supposed to have it on, my friend.
Okay, I quit. I can't keep up with these changes. StreamYard, you gotta get it together. One or the other. I can't have you bouncing around like popcorn. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going back and forth. That's the problem.
Can't stand that. Come on.
So I listen. Now can we get this show started?
Well, we can, but you've been screwing around ever since we got in here.
Dude, I am pumped up today.
Oh, I'm glad.
A lot of good stuff has been happening. But Zan the Man, anyway, I saw him on, like I said, StreamYard. He was psyched. He was. They were saying to him about how excited he was. And what I love about Zan the Man is right then and there, while he's on the show and they're talking to him, he goes, "Oh, John, Coffee Talking Tech, what's up?" in the comments. He goes, and I started laughing as I was watching. I thought it was the funniest thing, Zan. And thanks for the thumbs up, man, because that was awesome.
Zan's so real, man. I love that.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And Clint's at the beach every day, bro. Every day.
Saying hi to Clint. Clint's at the beach?
Yeah, he's at the beach. He's buying cars. I don't know. I think he hit
I want his life. What's going on?
I think he hit the lottery. I can't believe it. And so right off the bat, your image is clearer and the focus is way better.
Okay, let's just discuss that. So for anybody that might be tripling here, just a little late, I've got the 6400 as my primary camera. The last second decided to throw up the 5100 on the B, that's where you belong. You can already see the issues. And I have a thought about that. I want to talk to you about that. I see Brian's in the house, and I have some thoughts with him.
What's
and
up,
other
Brian?
guys. But let me switch back. So first thing on this thing. So I've done nothing to this camera. I just want you guys to know I didn't do anything. I'm just trying to learn the camera. And we could talk about that quick too, but I didn't throw any. It's just all flat. Whatever it was that came, I just left it as it is to play with it. I did mess around a little bit, obviously, too, with like the focus stuff. And I mean, I did. And what you'll see right away.
It's not as bad. It doesn't pick up your hand as fast.
Now I can make that not happen at all.
Right.
I turned the sensitivity up a lot to responsive, and made it very fast on the reaction for the focus. So when I didn't have that on, I couldn't even get anything to do that. You can see how fast, but you know what I mean. And especially if I had spot on and some other things. But right now, I'm pleased with it. Like when I had it on normal settings, you couldn't even make it jump around. So I mean that's a bonus.
Jump around.
Oh, we shouldn't do
jump
that.
Jump up.
We should not do that. So I'm really happy with that because the 5100 jumps everywhere, no matter what I did with that. So
I have a new camera in front of me.
You have a new camera? You
you see this view you have right here?
Don't tell me it's a GoPro.
Would you believe this is a Canon M50?
Oh, you put the Canon M50 in front of you. Holy crud. I had no idea. Look at the color on that. It looks great.
Does this look good or what?
That looks great. Yeah.
This is with the Sigma lens, Sigma 16 and the Canon M50 Mark II.
All right. So for people.
And I love it. I think it looks great.
So here we go. We got guy with that. We always argue about this, the M50 versus the 6400, which I think they're pretty comparable. In that class, they're pretty much right there. Obviously, the 50 is a little cheaper, but I would say whatever. That doesn't really represent, I think, the similarities. And so I don't know. I love the camera so far, and I want to talk about that. So the focus was a big deal. I was kind of playing around with that idea. I did find one thing on it, because I'm not with the 5100. You don't have a touch screen at all. So I was having this issue as I was screwing with it, sitting here. Why is it going out of focus? Why is it going out of focus? Well, you got to sometimes you tap the screen as you're screwing around, reaching around, and it was spot focusing on the tap as you hit the touch screen. Yeah. So that was kind of driving me crazy for a minute until I figured out until I was hitting around the screen and it was focusing on different things. So, those are little things that I'll pick up on.
Yeah, it takes time to learn a new camera, and plus there's so much. I know in the Sony cameras there seems to be like so many things to their focusing system in the menus. It's kind of confusing, and so you have to go kind of like their verbiage on the same things. Like if you look for time lapse, it's
Yeah.
like interval shooting or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like instead of looking for time lapse, you're like, where the hell is this thing? And then you find it. It's a little bit, but once you get it,
I
but
think
once you
for
get
me,
it,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you set those the buttons, and then pretty much you're set to go. Like you can have one set for 4K. You
A
can have
bunch of
one
customs
set for,
in there. I've already
yeah,
played around with them, and I really like their function button. It really answers 90% of the things you're trying to do. Plus, they've got the added wheel. So they have extra things where everything is really quick now, like to get at stuff. So, and like the function button really is sweet. Just hit the function, and you can just get to any, some of your big hitters of focus and other things,
right.
and just swap things out. So there is a wide range of things you can do. Obviously, on this camera, it's vastly different, of course, than the 5100. The first thing I would tell you on that thing too is it weighs a lot more. It makes the 5100 seem like a toy.
Yeah, well, the magnesium
alloy.
body definitely feels much different in the hand than the plastic. And then the thing that I love is that it's like,
Hi, Danielle.
it's sealed, and that's a plus.
It is sealed. You can feel that. I really like the feel of that. I like the alloy. It's all really good, man. And
yeah, I'm happy for you. You look good.
Yeah, I'm glad. So I'm glad it's looking good and better, or at least whatever, crisper. I had some other issues, but you know what? I got it up today, got it running, and I'm actually happy out of the box how it's looking on my end. I guess we'll see and compare later on against it, but it's really not a comparison. Once I pulled it out, started playing with it, I'm like, oh my god! Now, sometimes you just don't know how vast that difference will be until you start playing with it. I'm like, oh, this is it's another league. Just like I'm sure a $3,000 camera would be another league.
What picture profile are you in? Do you know?
Might be the HDL2. I don't know. I didn't even go into it. Whatever it came with, that's the one thing I haven't dealt with.
So probably on standard. Usually, I think
it's probably on standard. I'll probably
which is fine.
2 or something.
Yeah, either that or standard, one or the other.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. And Steve's
good.
got a
wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty animated. I like that.
Look at that. He's doing that whole thing.
Yeah, him and Zan. They're just showing happiness, and I think that's contagious, right? So you do something like that, and you're like, how can you not smile when you see somebody looking like that? So
yeah, but I'm always a little counter. So now I feel like, well, everybody's doing the big old smile thing, so now I'm gonna have to have like tissue and be like,
no, that looks. If I did that, I'd be like, hit the all you can eat, buffet. That's with a fork and a knife in my hand. That's how it would be for me.
No, don't do that, man.
So
here's what I wanted to know. He's got it. Okay, I thought it was later in the week. So you unboxed it. That's it. Have any in charge to plug it in? Any best? You know what's funny is I did the same thing. I got it and I was so happy to get it, and I just kind of set it aside. I don't know why. Of course, I was doing other things. It's one of those things you finally get it, and you're like, maybe there's a little expectation. Like, if I open this up, it's gonna not meet my expectations. But a lot of it is you just want that moment to sit with it and not be bothered by external forces in life. And I did a little unboxing recording of it just to have it, a little bit of that just to do it and put it in my recent thumbnail, which is funny.
That's good.
Yeah. So, I'm really pleased with that. I got so much to learn, but.
So I wonder if the next thing is Zan have a dummy battery, and did he order that capture card? And if he did, what capture card did you get? Because I know they told him the Cam Link, and we do have ones that we have for cheap in case people can't afford a bunch of Cam Links. So a lot of times people will get one Cam Link, and if they have an extra camera or something, a B camera, they can buy one of those. Now, for your instance, did you buy the one that?
I bought the $19 one for this one.
Yeah, and so it works great, and it looks good.
I plugged it in, went great. I mean, and this is what's funny about this. When you look at the shot and, you compare them, I flattened them both out to basically normal or how they came.
Right.
And I'd always heard that the 5100 kind of has a weird colorization, saturation is a little bit, and Brian might be able to confirm this, but I've heard of issues with the saturation on some of the Sonys. But you can really see it on this one. I've had a hard time. Like, it's really, maybe it's on my end, but it's really red, really dark in colors. But the other issue is the lighting. It's going to be a little bit different here. And I have a stock lens on there that's capped at 3.5, right? So it's limit. So I'm going to have to get another lens, and I want to ask you. I have a lot of questions, and I need some answers. So as I move forward here to spend more money that I need to spend.
Yeah, but that looks good as a B cam, and then
Yeah.
that's a perfect example of using a $19 capture card that looks great, I think. And a lot of times you don't get the same dynamic range in that capture card.
Yeah.
But does it really matter for your second camera when you're just showing something? Like, no one's going to say anything that doesn't look good.
No one's going to, no one's going to really care there. I mean, you're in this mode. People are just, if you got something you're doing over the top or whatever
Right.
you're doing, it's not, I mean, obviously I can improve on this with lighting, and a little better lens would be nice.
Did you white balance it at all?
No. So that's the thing. I haven't done anything.
You got a couple of things to do.
I got a couple things I can do to it, and I think I can get something knocked on. My biggest thing was going, how does this feel? My lights are about as low as they can go. My ISO's at 100. And I was like, this is as bright as I want to be. So there's some differences going on.
And you're at 1.4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. So I'm 1.4. I think my ISO's 160, and my lights are pretty darn low also.
I would say we're pretty balanced. I think our lighting values are pretty darn close. So that always feels good.
And then I'm using the EOS R as my second. I turned that off because I thought I was going to test it for if it was getting audio or not.
Oh, okay. We'll turn it on.
It's not.
No. Okay.
But I am going to turn it on. Hold on.
Oh, jump around. Zan, on that issue, I'm from Wisconsin. And, if you ever watch a Madison Badger game, football game, at third to fourth quarter switchover, I've been to those stadiums where they have like 90,000 people jumping around at one time with that song. And it shakes the stadium. It's terrifying. You can feel the stadium moving under you. I love that. So yeah, we should do that. We should get, we can't play jump around. We're going to get,
yeah, we'll get dinged on that.
Brian, I sometimes focus in the corner with my nose. Oh, yeah. So if you just barely bump it, I've heard people saying, yeah, I don't understand what's happening. You go on the forums and they're like, are you bumping it with your nose? That's kind of what's happening. So it's a thing. You just got to be aware of it. On that issue with the flip up, it's not articulating and all that, which I would love. What is my feeling on the display screen? Well, A, it's a little bigger, obviously, but B, it's definitely richer and feels really clean and detailed. I like the way it folds up. It feels it has a little bit more movement, has a much more firmer feel to it. Yeah. Would it be great if it popped off to the side? Yeah. Is it a deal breaker? Yeah. No, I'm going to get myself a small rig and not worry.
It's kind of like a weird thing the way it flips up, I think. But I think most people are just happy it flips up. So that's all. Because Sony has done that a few times. We're like, okay, we're going to give you a flip up, and then we're going to take it away, and then we'll give it back to you.
Oh, I can upgrade to a 6,000 from my 51. Oh, wait a minute. It's just one of those deals.
Why
right?
did I do this?
There was a lot of people to get upset when that happens. Let's see. We got an answer here. So Zan says, I haven't ordered the capture card yet. I'll spend time with the camera this weekend. Good idea. This week, I'm focused on my coaching clients and my writing. Okay. I hear you. I feel that.
So Zan, just in case you don't want to spend a lot of money, and I know a lot of people have opinions. I saw people saying it on StreamYard, don't buy a piece of garbage capture card, blah, 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 blah. But I tell you, Jeff and I have had right now good experience with the same capture card. We both bought the same one, and we both use it and have used it. Actually, mine's in the drawer now, but I've used it several months before I got my ATEM, and it works great for I'm like pretty happy. And if you want to go see the difference on a Canon M50, just go watch my video on the capture card, and you could see the difference in it. And I think
did you feel like it was a dynamic range was one of the biggest differences?
It is the biggest, but it's the thing is
Ecamm, who cares? Or just having stream out, who cares? Save the money if you want.
That's the thing is, like, people were saying, oh, use the Edge software, but this capture card is definitely going to be better resolution than streaming out on the Edge software. So that's why I'm saying, if you don't want to go and spend the $100 on this now, and say down the road you want to get one, that's a different story. You're
not going to lose out, because I think
it's good to have an extra.
You need a backup.
Yeah.
You may get a secondary, but having the backup is key. For $19, a cup of coffees, get one now. It won't go to waste.
Right.
You can't beat it. I was pleased with it. It installed easy, picked right up in OBS fine. I had a little bit of issue coming on here because I just realized when I put that in, it also added an audio interface. So I was getting that was going through StreamYard to John. So I had to quickly dump that out of that because I added another mic input. So, little things like that we learn, but heck, man, I was shocked. Yeah, you can order one up on Amazon, get it here the next day. You're ready to go. What do we got going here? Oh, WTLB Productions.
Yeah, who's this?
Who is this person that walked in here and welcome?
He said, thank you. What's this? Thanks for inviting me. I wonder if this is someone, did you invite or I invite?
I don't know, but
I wanna know.
let's pretend we both invited them.
Yeah,
let's get a name because I don't have it. If they want to drop a name, that would be great. Let's also,
let us know where if we met you,
where we can find you. Yeah, so sometime when this thing ends, don't drop it here because
I get so excited when people come into the stream. I love it. It's awesome because when people come in and plus they're dropping in something that is like right away fitting into what we're talking about, which is looking into the Canon M50 or Mark II. I do live streaming. The reasons I've been reading say specs are pretty even matched. It is very worth it going for the Mark II because for $50, you want the better eye focusing. You want you want the little button on that screen that hits record is a plus to have. And plus the clean HDMI is worth it. And the resale value, if you ever go to sell it down the road, would be improved also. So definitely go.
If you were at $150, we could have a different discussion maybe, but $50, it's just a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
And I don't mean that as a judgment. I just meant like for me, I would definitely go with the two. Just for those reasons that would really set you up for $50. I'd have to jump on it. But yeah, when we're done here today, so we can find you, let's go over there and subscribe and give them some support. Appreciate you dropping in, man.
So can I show you something?
You may.
Can you screen me big?
I can make you big. I have the power.
Thank you.
Here it is.
I am so excited today because of this, right? I mean, literally.
John, are you giddy? Ginny, are you giddy?
Well, first of all, I was giddy, and I'm going to tell you the other reason why. What just put things over the top today was coming right into the stream, literally like 2 minutes before, and seeing this right here. That was awesome.
Oh, check this out.
Yeah.
I missed this. 500. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody who went and supported our friend John.
That's all I wanted to show is
I just did it, man.
I came in and I was like, I had a great day and I was listening to a couple great streams in the last 2 days that have really pumped me up. I don't know if you guys all know like Tom Buck and his wife Heather Ramirez. They just have like really good streaming sessions, and I've been really just getting pumped up because they're the people that I'm looking for. These are the type of people that I get excited to listen to, and they really have some good stuff going on, and the energy is like really fantastic, and I love it. And
oh, that's great. You seem really pumped, and I'm so excited for you on that. I want to say I did sneak down a look, and it does seem like this is Will. And Will is a friend of Brian's. So Brian probably invited him. So we all know to blame Brian when things go south, Will. And just kidding. So glad you're here. And if you have any questions, drop it. If you have any knowledge, drop it. We'll take any knowledge. Oh, yeah. Brian's a great guy. Look at this. Jay and John are great. I watch their shows. Yeah, well, you do, but you also get like a check every week, so I don't get that.
Not from us.
No, it's probably from some foreign government. But he's got his own thing going on.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ash?
Hi, Ash.
I say that really loud because I was hoping she would respond.
She lives in Canada. You have to yell louder.
I do. She can't see. The problem is if you don't yell when they're in Canada, then there's a lag. So you got to get it out.
Is there? Yeah. So Ash, this is me on the Canon M50 right now. So I think I'm really loving it. And you know what was fantastic on top of this? My wife comes to me today and she's like, I have a photo shoot this weekend.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect. I just put the Canon in front of me.
It always
And
seems to
now
work out
the
that way.
EOS R just comes right off the tripod. Right here's the EOS R right here. And
Yeah.
now it just comes right off the tripod and she can take it. That's
I
awesome.
did that. So I bought the Ulanzi quick clips for both cameras, and it's just nice to be able to pop them around. The only thing I can't seem to locate is like I just want them to sell the bottoms, the mount bottom, so I can just move to different things. So do you know if they sell those individually, or is this a scam where I've got to buy them all in pairs?
I don't, what do you, Lansy, what is it?
So it's the mount to the camera. You know, you screw it into the camera, and then you can quick clip out of the
Yeah, it's a quick release, but
quick release. What it is, yeah. But
yeah,
I'm saying,
I don't know if it's a lot of
Samsung.
systems are adjusted, but I think there's the Anchor ones that are like very mobile to different setups, but I'm not
Well,
sure
I'm just
about
saying,
that.
all I need is I just want the bottoms. I can
You
put
just want
in
the
other
bottom seat.
tripods.
Exactly.
Tripod.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
I've
that.
had a hard time finding it. Brian probably knows this answer, but I was just like, oh, this is going to be a deal. I got to buy like a whole bunch of whatevers, but whatever. They're worth it. They're not that expensive. And when you're down here flipping around, that'll be something fun for the B camera as I get this corner set up to shoot where my B-roll is going to be. And I think some other type of footage I want to do maybe with Notion. I'll be able to point it this way, and that'd be kind of neat to have that kind of set up. So that'd be kind of
Does the 6400 come with those little chains on the side of the camera?
yes,
Like
but
little
they're
clips?
made to come off.
Yeah.
Where I hate those.
I
Why
hate those too.
don't put those on anymore? I
That's
don't.
where, remember we were talking about it and Brian remembered what they were, the Peak Design little plastic clips. They can go on
Yeah.
and off. Those are perfect for that.
That's the way to go. And
Yeah.
your wife has good taste. She likes my shirt.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it until she said that. But of course, who doesn't know More Cowbell? That is a classic Saturday Night Live. And remember I always get made fun of because Coffee Talk and Tech, and then in Saturday Night Live had the two ladies Coffee Talk. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh God,
Oh yeah. They were verklempt, I believe, all the time.
very verklempt.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
verklempt.
I love that. I got to when my claim to fame, it wasn't my fame, but so I was playing in New York, and Will Ferrell and Chad Smith are running around doing their thing because they look a lot alike. And my friend plays with Chad Smith quite a bit out in New York, in Long Island, out there at East Hampton area.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
It's Stephen Talkhouse, so that's a haunt that we played all the time.
I've
And
been there years ago. So.
it's a pretty cool place. But yeah, we were doing a thing, and they're like, "Come on, play." Come up here and play some percussion like a tambourine. There's Chad Smith and Will Ferrell playing percussion and drum. I thought it was I'm just sitting here this is amazing to me, and I'm playing like a tambourine. And they're like, okay, that's one song, you're done, get off.
Samantha's here.
Is she? Okay, I'm gonna make my way down here
Hello.
because I have another question about this 6400 here. I'm reading slow. Will, let's see here. I got Will in the house. That was great. Appreciate that. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the purpose of the capture card?
Okay. So all the capture card does is it's basically got the encoder in it. So as your camera is streaming the information out, it encodes it and then sends it to whatever software you're using to display video. So it carries not just the video, it carries the audio too. So that's basically what it does. And that's why people were telling you that you could just hook up your camera to the Edge software. But the fact of the thing is that a lot of people don't realize this, is that when you connect anything USB 2, which is what the Edge software would be, kind of like Canon has their software for webcams too, it's all USB based. Only so much information can go on a USB 2. And so using an HDMI card lets the greater amount of information to go through, then encodes it, and then gives you at least a 1080p resolution. So
That's
there
a
you
good
are.
explanation. So you're going to need one.
Yeah. And then when you and then let's take it another step further, because I know there's a lot of misinformation out there too about how fast your internet should be. So Zan, when you do start streaming and you're going to stream in 1080p, you generally want at least 25 megs upload. Okay. So when you go and do speed tests, so if you go into Google, you type in speed test, and then you hit your speed, it will give you a download and an upload. And the upstream is what's important for streaming. And you want to make sure that you're getting at least 25 megs. And if you are, then you'll be able to stream in HD. And then if you were ever going to stream in 4K, you should have about 50 megs upstream. And then, because you always want 50%, because it only takes about 25 megs to stream in 4K, but you want to have 50 because you want 50% more of whatever you're streaming in. If you're doing 4K or you're doing 1080p, it only takes like 6 megs to do it in 1080p and about 25 in 4K, but you want to have double that speed. So you need like 25 to 50 because of the traffic on the internet. So when you have a dip, that you don't have lost frames as you're streaming. And also, this depends on, and I know I'm getting a little deep here, but it depends on the codec that you're using to translate all your information, right? So if you're using a like NVENC encoder, which is the new encoder that you'll use on NVIDIA cards, it's even compressed more, so you can actually stream with less megs that you need upstream. And then also they have like the N64X, which tend to use a little bit more CPU, and it takes a little bit more streaming power. So these are multiple factors that come in, but easy thing, hit speed, do a speed test really quick. Make sure that you can get like at least 20 to 25 megs. And then from there, you'll know exactly if you have enough power to stream.
And like my only caveat.
Is that enough of stuff to talk about? Was that enough information?
That was good. No, it was a good explanation. Now, I just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer on this thing. There's optimal and there's just realism and reality. The truth of it is you don't need 50 to quality upload. I don't even get 22. I'm fine. Now I don't share
50. It would be 50 for 4K.
Oh yeah, okay, for 4K.
And no one's streaming in 4K.
That's true. I
get about 40 meg upstream, and I'm streaming in 1080 at 30 frames, and that makes a difference too, whether or not you're streaming in 24, Absolutely. 30, or 60.
Good point.
Okay. That's another factor, right? Yep. That I didn't say. So there's many factors, but when we're talking about how we look right now, it is absolutely no problem to do like 1080p in 24 or in 30. Matter of fact, I think Jeff's in 24 and 24. I'm in 30.
I'm in 24.
So
I don't know why we prefer. I probably should just do 30, but I'm set at 24 because I like that. I don't know why. There is a little bit of a difference. It's not huge, but so Will is a friend of Brian's. And I would just want to say I'm just so glad to know that Brian is a friend, and I think that's what I'm going to take away from that. What about you? You think?
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to have our group grow. So if you have friends that come in, and I know I said a lot of information, so Zan and everybody else don't get overwhelmed with it. It's not really an issue a lot of times, but these are things that you do want to know before you go on your first stream. And then once you're there, you're like, oh my God, I need to talk to my internet company. Or I'll give you for instance, before I started doing YouTube at all, I was just on the internet surfing, checking my email. And I didn't realize that I had a modem that was like 8 years old. And so when I did a speed test, I was like paying for something that I wasn't even getting because they didn't even update my modem and tell me that I had to pick it up. So when I started streaming, then I realized, God, this is
we're going to give you a Lamborghini, but you can only drive at 20 miles an hour forever.
Jeff, when I tell you, when I had my 2011 iMac and I tried to edit on that, I can't even tell you. It made me just realize that I had to build a computer again for the first time in 20 years. It was pathetic, put it that way.
Yeah. This stuff takes a lot of power. And, I'm glad you said that to Zan, because it's true. It's not, no one wants to overwhelm you with the information, but I wish people had dropped some of those little nuggets on me as a sidebar conversation. As I was looking into things, because I often found out too late. And then what would happen is, well, okay, I'm here and now I've got to do something quick. And I impulse buy rather than spend the time to look, or I have to get something because I'm now up against it.
Right.
And then you end up spending money. And so it's kind of nice when people give you a little bit more highway to see down ahead of you. So it's just it's nice to have
Yeah.
it more.
Well, I wanted to do that because, we assume that people know stuff sometimes. And when Zan was looking for a camera, we already thought that he must know about a capture card. And so now, he finds that out. And then I don't want him to go all of a sudden, let me do a test stream because, Zan, you could do a test stream private right on YouTube. So
Right.
no one sees it. And you could just test and make sure your stream is going good. And that would be in the live production. And you could take a look if you have any drop frames or any issues. And then, see how things turn out. And that's how you test to make sure that your things are looking good. And also, like, you could test right to OBS too with video and just see if the minor things are good.
Oh, is that something you did? I killed a bunch of hard drives recording to the hard drive with OBS. I really was just trying to learn. I must have spent endless, trilligibytes trying to figure things out. That's a new word. And,
I mean, I didn't go nuts, but there was there was enough, like where I was, but listen, my quality is come like tenfold.
Well, yeah, but that's how you do it, right?
In a short time. And Brian is even saying, and to be honest with you, I'm glad that Brian said this, that he thinks that perhaps this even looks better than my R. And that has everything to do with the Sigma 16 1.4 on there at 1.4. I think it really does a great job with the background separation and everything. I agree with him. I am liking this better.
It's a really nice, and Marlene talks about how your back, it does look cool, but you know what? I look at it side to side. I kind of dig a color scheme.
Oh, well, I change that all the time. You know that. So I'm always messing with
I've been
stuff.
changing mine up with the GVMs, the 800Ds that I have.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's
we got to keep things active, right? We got to,
Well,
why is that?
I don't know what you're doing.
God, my camera. Oh, I know why. I know why.
It's timing out.
I'm going to give you an example. Yes. So I'm going to give you an example of sometimes when you're going live of what you don't realize, right? So that main camera is always hooked up to my Canon software, which is connect to a USB cord. Okay. And that keeps the software going, and it allows the camera not to time out. If you're using that software, your camera won't time out. I never went and adjusted the settings not being in there. So I have to go and hit the settings up. So this is timing out in 30 minutes. So there you go. Those are the things that you learn as you stream more and more.
Do you guys like my product placement?
Yes. Yes.
Still left-handed, but I'm doing this. There's studies that say you should use your other hand to stimulate your brain.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, because we're just we just ramble on, assume people know. So Jeff, he was nice enough to buy these are my coffee cups with CTT on it, and I love the logo and everything. I have a main logo, that's my second logo. But he came to me and he's like, John, you have the logo on the wrong side of the
I'm right-handed, so this is what was happening.
Right.
But I'm having to go left-handed in order to be that supportive guy.
So
I'll do it. I'm a team player. I'll do it.
Yeah. So I realized that, and I had to go in and switch things to the other side in there. And here's another learning curve, right, that I didn't realize. So remember I told you I went into Spreadshirt, okay, and I started I brought my logo in and stuff. So if you guys ever go to Spreadshirt and eventually make your own, shirts and stuff like that, and you have a logo and you want to start selling them, you go through the Spreadshirt and you drop your logos in, they approve them, and then they handle everything. So everything goes through them, and then you just get a little percentage of what sells, and they keep it all in a fund until it reaches like $100, and then they'll send you out, a check. But the thing is, and because this is all new to me, I thought that if I go and put my design, I pick the stuff out, I thought that was my shop. But no, those are just links. I could put those links to a shirt, link this, and it was like disconjointed. I was like, what's wrong here? And I realized that I never actually started my shop. So now I finally have the shop. So now if you go into those, into my videos, you'll see it's my shop. So are you there, Jeff? Are you frozen? I think he's frozen. I think that I talk so much that I froze him into oblivion. That's what I think. Oh, your shirt just arrived, Brian? That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm psyched about that. I'm really liking the way the shirts came out, and I really appreciate the people that had bought some. I have 2 other people that had bought this week, and I thank anyone that has done that. That's great. How you doing? Thanks for coming back.
I don't know what's going on. Like StreamYard's telling me about Wi-Fi, and I'm like, I'm hardlined. So
yeah, you're hardline, but that's just what it is their signal. They're saying that their signal is running low.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, whenever that comes up. It's happened to me. It's happened to me once or twice. Yeah.
Well, I want my money back. So if I disappear, John, you just pick up the ball and you run with it. And congrats on the 500 from Ash. It is a big deal.
Thank you.
When I hit 50, I thought that was the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, it was just really crazy because I was like, it was just going so slow. Things are weird, like it just things just happen. And then all of a sudden you're like 2 days ago, I was like 192. I picked up like 8 subscribers in like 2 days, which that's a lot for me in 2 days. So
hi, I'm Uncle Jeff. You're your dad. So that means you have to pay for the schooling and the new car. So kids are expensive.
I'm going to stick with just John.
My 2 new, I had to read that. My 2 noobs. Okay.
Yeah. So what I did notice, and that is a possibility with putting the logo on both sides, but I tried to do that and they didn't let me do it right away. So I believe that it's an extra cost. And so I'm not going to do that yet.
Well, I like that. He's right. I think this M50 does look amazing. I'm getting caught up on a little bit of this. Good night to Samantha.
I just streamed earlier too. So
yep. She's probably fried.
I always check it tomorrow morning. That's my thing.
Yep. Ash gets 10 upload. She survives. Yeah. I don't know. Is that a Canadian thing? Do you guys all have that issue, or is it just one of those things where you live, or is it, hell, I had AT&T for a long time and they were capping me out no matter. The highest package in this area I could get was like 7 up. So I'm like, well, I'm done with you. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, that's rough.
I like this. Thanks, John Woo. It's a mouthful, man. It's
the thing is, right? Right now, things can be very simple, and you have one camera, and you got you using StreamYard, which doesn't take a ton of effort, right? Because if you go on StreamYard, it's not gonna take all those megs like we're talking about. So if you're gonna go that route, but if you start using like OBS, or you go through OBS to stream, then those factors matter a lot more. Where here in StreamYard, because everything is web-based, it's taking the load off of everything, so it's much easier in general.
He says, I think I'll just use my 920 now. I hope he pops for a card and puts it in there and gets.
But I would say
get after it.
His ZV-1, even with the Edge software, if you don't get a capture card in and you just use the Edge software, it is definitely going to look better than your 920. So don't be afraid to plug it in with the USB cord, mess around with it, download the Edge software, figure out how to set it up, and then I think you're going to really love how it looks even just like that. And you may use that for a year or months and you may be happy with it. So just check it out first before you make a decision. But me, because I spent some money on some cameras and I have a few, I have, capture cards and an A10 mini that I use. So,
yeah. Well, I hope he does. I'm curious. He needs to get in there. I get it though. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm busy. That's a whole nother discussion I want to have in a second, but I was just like, logo on both sides. Yeah, I suggested that to him the first time I saw it too. I'm like, but he didn't even know. Did you find out if you can do both sides or no?
Well, that's what I just said a second ago. It wasn't like something that I could choose easily to make happen. So it was kind of weird. All I could do is drag my logo to one position. So what I believe is if I want to customize it, I could, but I think it's going to cost whoever buys it more. And so right now, I think I'm just sticking with the righty for the factor. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. This is funny. Why his shirt just arrived. So he's going to do an unboxing. Yeah, it would be hilarious to do an unboxing of your shirt. I should have done that with the mugs. Now I feel bad. That's a great idea.
I'm just so psyched that like I can't even believe that people would support me like that. So I'm just
Oh,
thankful,
believe it,
thankful for
sir.
that.
You
No,
know,
really, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
I know, and I would feel the same way. So I totally understand where you're coming from. You know,
Yeah.
I looked around and I'm like, oh, I wish I was further along with these cameras, and then I was late again on my thumbnail yesterday, and which was a fun thing to do. But I'm just like, I don't know, is anybody else feeling like summer makes it really hard? Like, I don't know. It's just, I think you'd be more time in a way, but you don't. Um, I'm
I
just
don't
trying to
know.
stay on top of things with summer and get through it. I just don't know if it's the best place to be so ahead of things. How are you finding it? Do you find that that's
I'm just
harder?
I have, a lot's been going on this year. Let's not forget about how challenging everything has been, period.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
as far as for me, that's been, much more challenging than average, along with a move that I did and still settling in with getting, the house to where we want.
But did you find coming out of April, let's say May into June, did you find things as your sun got off and the summer, it got warmer? Are you finding it harder and harder to go, I got to put more time into
Well,
the YouTube stuff? I'm doing it, but I'm also aware that there's so many more commitments in the summer and other
yeah.
things.
Well, that's the main problem has been actually I've been teaching myself vmix in the last 3 weeks. So
That's true.
that's been taking a lot of time up. Now, if I didn't have that factor alone, I'd be pumping out videos, but it's just the factor of learning that vmix, getting things set up properly, getting my mental status in position to really start a big push moving into the summer and fall is
Yeah, we talked about that. I almost
yeah.
think summer's a great time to do, get things done. Don't get me wrong. We'd love to be putting out that video a week, but I'm just saying it's kind of a great time to nibble at new ideas, learn things. I've had some, that internet thing is really bugging me. I've really gotten into Notion and some deep ends even in the last week. And I'm like, it's hard to do everything, research and development, and kind of upgrade your gears, so to speak. So summer might be a good time for that, where you're kind of just dipping in and out, like you're doing with vmix.
Yeah, I have seen no difference in my numbers. I think everything has been improving no matter what. Even my click through rate has improved. My hours have been up as long as I've been streaming. And I don't really have any problem with that because I think re-evaluating some things and getting myself mentally prepared is really been a process, because not only are we trying to, like, I don't think people get the gist of it, but there's a lot going on with trying to reach people outside of what we have right now and keep
Right.
on growing in a positive factor with and being involved in different communities to get to a place that I want to get, which is,
Yeah, it takes.
keep
I
on
mean,
growing.
when we came out of lead and stuff, we started doing this. I was never going to do live streaming twice a week. Guess what? That takes time too.
Yeah.
That takes some prep and some thought, and time. So that wasn't something that I counted on as I went through everything and bouncing back between the environments of recording video and doing live. This was not probably something I would advise somebody. It's worked out for me, and I can give you analytics and why it worked out for me if you really were to watch my channel and bump up in my own name ranking, for example, just with lives has been quite dramatic. So, it's all been positive. And then the learning from doing all of this, there's been a lot of things like, and Ash makes a good point here where she's like, I adore you, but you can't say that. You got to post your fourth video. I see too many never post. All truisms. And I appreciate that because that's a true statement. And I'm not pushing back. My only comment is I've never been idle about it. It's just, I'm doing all the things you would do to make videos, but so much has gone into the lives. I did not anticipate that.
Yeah, but you're 1 month in.
Yeah. 6 weeks max, I think.
So I don't know. I think if you counted all the hours that you spent in the last 6 weeks, I think a lot of people would be hard to press to say that you've done more.
I've done a lot of hours. Yeah, it's been a lot of hours to put
because
into
you are prepping yourself for the months ahead. So
I had a discussion with a friend of mine who's a freelancer, and as I went through thoughts on what I want to do with my channel, I realized I've been freelancing, I've been a freelancer for over 25 years. And I have a different take on things. I never worked for anybody coming out of college, good or bad. I just didn't. And so I have learned over the years to see when you do a solo project, I can see down the road a little bit better about what I think the friction points may be. Now, I understand that you can paralyze your own self by doing too much of the prep and not enough of the cooking. I get all that. But I also know me, and I also realize that I know what's ahead. And if I don't get some things in that box, look, coming at you next week, I would say the box is complete as of this camera now, and a couple of things I've done this week. But I will tell you, I'm just at my makeup. I've not been sitting idle, but I love the push, and I know it comes from the heart, and I do take that, and it helps. I mean, that's a great energy for me, so appreciate that.
I mean, you're gonna have a whole new learning curve with just the editing and coming in, but I mean, the thing is, like, I see your growth along with just the thumbnails alone. And the other thing is that, you know, I explained this before, which is you're taking the time to set yourself up for the months down the road, which I never did. I started a channel. I had no thought process at all. It was no like, let me get this many videos out. It's not like it was just winging everything, and winging everything works for a while until it doesn't work anymore. And then it will hit you in the face so hard, and you'll be stuttering along and falling apart. And
it's the thing I've seen the most when people talk about when they started to burn out or really struggle mentally with things.
Yeah, but even the thought process of the name of your channel and making sure you're slowing things down to make these adjustments. So this way you're not like, I'm going to make this decision after I have 500 subscribers. You know what I mean? And so you want to make those decisions in a slow process. But I do see her point is, you know, you got to get out there. You got to make your first video, and you can't be afraid. And you got to, you're not going to be like overly happy with it maybe, but who cares? You just do it and you get it done, and you take a deep breath afterwards.
No, and I have no ego. If people want to call me to the carpet for anything, I'm cool with it, because I'll look for the good out of it. I
never heard that before.
I've never had a problem.
You say call me to the carpet?
Yeah.
What the? I never
call
heard
me
that.
The carpet? Really?
Yeah, is that like wrestle?
Yeah, we're gonna wrestle, and we're gonna get.
Yeah, but does that mean wrestle? Does that mean like call me to the carpet?
I don't know where that came from. I guess we'll have to look that up. Somebody maybe Google machine that if they don't know where that phrase came from. Yeah, call me on the carpet. I think it's. I have no idea what that is. I don't know. I know what it means.
It up right now.
I know what it means, but I'm kind of like looking over at the Google machine, going, "I should really look this up."
That was great. To the carpet. Are we going to wrestle on this? My son would be like, "Are we going to wrestle?"
A couple things too. I want to finish up on that thought, because again, I like to be pushed, but I guarantee you, no one pushes me harder than I do. But I do like to be pushed, and I have put the hours in. But I'm trying to do like you. My name, my channel, my thumbnails. I do moderate other people's streams that go live, and I'm learning from that.
Congratulations on that stream. Incredible.
Yeah, he had that was a great stream. We've had some great streams there, and he's killing it. He's a guy that could. You
said he got 1,000 views on the stream from 2 weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago. So he did a Q&A live at 1,000. Awesome. He's up to 400 already from the one we did on this weekend.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, dude, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You'll be fine. I mean, he's got a worldwide following. He just has to get out there and do it. So I keep looking, because that thing keeps coming up in StreamYard, and it just irritates me.
Right.
I'm wondering if it's me though. So if I blank out, just take over. So yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to have fun with it. Like you were talking about the thumbnails, and I don't think people really knew. I knew you knew, and Brian, but in my latest thumbnail, I'm actually hiding behind the plant. That was the whole point, but I don't think people could see it. It was too dark in the smaller thumbnails.
It was a little dark, and I would have liked to seen the other face on the other side to even it out. And
really?
Once you did that, and I saw it, I was like, that's cool, but. The thing is, it's the creativity, it's like,
I just didn't want to, like Brian, I talked about too. I'm like, I like it to be discoverable. I don't like to be too on target with people. Like, oh, they find it. There's an Easter egg. Maybe that's something I enjoy. I enjoy Easter eggs. So I'm like, I kind of want to leave it there. If somebody puts it together down the road, there's a lurker behind that plant, then we're all having fun. If not, then no one's harmed. No one's
well. The thing that that I'm really pushing for, and I know we're talking about, is you're gonna have a bunch of people trying to, I always feel like once you start streaming and things roll off and people will come into your stream, come out of your stream, you'll always see like people's real intentions in the end of where they are and what they want to do and how they want to be involved with you and your streams and everything. But the thing that is important to me is to find the right people. Is like I want to find my people and your people, and we want to make sure things roll in a positive fashion. And I don't want it all to be about selling ourselves all the time. I want it to be as organic as it can be. Not that we're not here.
Good. I think we just want to be organic and authentic. And you know what? It's one of the things that really slapped me in the face was how doing the lives with you really started to reshape, or maybe it just crystallized what I wanted to do out of this. Because a lot of this, when I started coming into this, I was all over the map. If you think the road is wide for me now, I had a really wide highway of thoughts about what I was going to do. This has been something, as we've developed, where I'm starting to narrow and come to a little bit more vision of my voice. And it's okay to take that time. I get it,
No, that's all good. But what I'm just saying is, I just want to have the thought of what we're doing to mean something.
I hear you. You're talking about the overall macro view of what we're trying to do, what you're trying to do here, and that is find people that they enjoy what we do. They want to come along. We want to enjoy stuff, and we want to enjoy helping people and learning.
Yeah, and supporting each other, because it's about a community, but it's not always about it's about celebrating things, but it's also not just about that. It's about
it's more than that. It's not just celebrations. I think it's also that's something as I dealt with as we wrote together my little trailer, was the idea that we need to have real discussions around the table as a community about the struggles and obstacles on these walkabouts that we do on our quest. So we have that, and have the perspective that, hey, these happen. How do we look at them and turn those into like these keys that will unlock our better future selves? So for me, that's kind of the angle I'm taking with my channel. These are words and phrases you probably hear and ad nauseum, because it's something I've really grabbed onto. And Brian, to your point, I'm reading about the Notion workflow. I'm really excited about that because it's something I really like to do. And I might do a short one, not this coming weekend, maybe on a Monday or something during the day, and just do something quick, because I found some really not amazing, I'm not going to set the world on fire, but I found 3 Chrome extensions that just power up Notion.
Yeah.
It's amazing that I don't know if people know about, and it makes it a different application. I love
That's funny. Make sure you let me know on Monday, because I was thinking about doing a stream too. So
on Monday?
Yeah, because it's everybody's off. I'm off. So.
That's right. Well, then I'll do it another day. I don't need to do it.
No.
I have all day. I can do it anytime. I can
do it Monday, and plus you wake up an hour later than me. You'll probably still be sleeping when I stream. But the thing that I really care about is I wouldn't wrestle John. I don't fight dirty. I can fight good. I'm pretty good, especially on the ground. I excel at the ground. I am not a good boxer, but oh my God, I'm a good ground and pounder and a good wrestler. but that was years ago. That was before I destroyed my whole body.
You're not going to forget how to wrestle.
When I'm down on the ground, it's good, but when I'm standing,
got to get him down there, man. You just got to get him down.
I'll be out of breath in 30 seconds anyway. But
yeah, me too.
But the thing is we've discussed this and we've talked about this, and the reason that I am so pumped up is I was happening to watch Heather Ramirez have a discussion on her website, on her channel, and I happened to just catch it because I've been watching her and Tom stream from the beginning when there was 6 people. Right. And now
they've grown massively in the last year too. It's
Well, they've grown, but I'm saying they've only started this stream like 6 months ago or so.
Right. Okay. The joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But I just I've been watching them since there was about 6 or 9 people maybe watching at tops, and now there's closer to 30.
Okay.
And I saw how passionate that they are about a lot of the types of things that they want to do, and they call it the passion, the creator, forte, which is like that we have a lot of power as creators, and we have a lot of say in way things get produced and put out to
Yep.
the public, and we're leveraging that kind of stuff more and more as we move on. But the other thing is it's about not they discuss it, and I see it a lot, is you join these groups, and it's all about just promoting, and it's like almost like a small little thing of like what it would be like when I go to these Facebook groups, and it's like sub for sub. It's supposed to be small YouTube support. I go in there and I'll drop something about our streams, and then all it is people trying to sub for sub constantly.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people trying to sell their books or sell their whatever, this and that. And
Right.
the more and when you're small, it's okay to like come into
It's
streams
hard
like this
because
and
it's
support
hard
each
to
other.
find. It's hard to get discovered by the people you want to discover you. So I think it's a fine line where you're like, well, I got to go kind of grab some subs so I feel like I'm progressing or get credibility. And then, but it's not a cycle you want to get into. You don't want to sit in an echo chamber of swapping subs all the time. Just coming from a person who has got like barely any subs, right? But I mean, still,
still, it can be organic.
That's the thing, yeah.
To swap to like say
That's
if
true.
you build this community that we have, right? Because it's all talk about building a community, and if you're a big YouTuber, you can build a bigger community.
Yeah.
But for instance, Aaron from Continuous Conversation.
Yep.
He was on vacation last week. He sent me an email that he was looking for a new laptop, but he went to Hawaii, by the way. But he sent me a email a while back. Okay, when we first started doing all this stuff.
Yep.
And he was like, "John, what do you think about starting a Discord? For our group?" And I was like, "Well, I got this Facebook, channel right now, and I want to kind of like keep things there and here, because I'm all about really pushing one platform. I don't want to go pushing a million platforms, but the Facebook was all it was, is so if someone has a question, they don't have to go and send me an email. They can drop a message in there and be able to message back and forth and
Right.
get, and be able to talk to each
Yeah.
other.
It's like instant.
Yeah. And I'm sure Discord is even better. So he may be onto something, and whatever the case is, but I think that if we had like an ability for the group of us to all communicate faster or quicker or in a fashion like that. So I did not have my Facebook set up with messaging.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I am actually going to do that, so that way there is a place for people to go back and forth, with the stuff we talk about. And so keep that in mind for yourself too, because I think I just want to have something where someone can send me something and I'll see it fast,
Yeah.
because I check Facebook every day, and this way, if they're sending me a message, it'll be much easier to get back instead of like an email that could potentially
Yeah,
get
I
lost
leave
in it.
mine with messages, so I constantly get messages from people who aren't even friends who are asking a question, and I'm like, that's fine. I have no issues with that.
Yeah.
That's good. Just hit the John. Just hit the record button or record button. Just hit the record button. Do it like you're doing a live stream now. Speak from the heart of the topic for a few minutes. Make some edits. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's exactly right. Especially, I think if you're new, like me, that's a great thing to say, because just lean into the fact you're new. Stop trying to be influenced by all these other things that you see or want to be. Just that's kind of where I've gotten to this point. I'm just kind of like, all
Oh
right.
yeah. I mean, that's all I did. I said, forget about it. I can't wait any longer, and
Yeah.
I need to just stream, and I don't care. I'm going to get on there and talk about tech, and it's just goes to show, like last week when I was on just talking about my wireless HDMI setup,
Yep.
literally had, people coming from other countries talking to me about it.
I had ideas. I wrote a script, and I liked my script, and it was great because it gave me a nucleus to kind of think about my value system. Because again, this is a hard thing to kind of boil down. Some people have been doing this or been around this for a year, and they've been able to kind of cultivate that.
Right.
I've just made that decision not that long ago, so I'm really just been kind of like at a sprint, and so I feel good about it. But I am getting itchy. I am getting a little bit like I've got the hives. I've got to record, like I really want to. It's not even a question of running. It's like, so, I had ideas, and I'm like, I'm to a point now. Now, my buddy, I mentioned to you, I've got a recording buddy in Milwaukee here, and we set up DaVinci today with some incredible plugins for audio that I'm excited about. Some are for drums, so not all of them are for actual audio, but some amazing voice plugins I'm excited to get into. And again, him and I are going to go through and do some actual podcast video series. I think we're going to do a series also on recording audiobooks at his studio. So I'm excited about that. But I wanted to kind of read this from Will here. The term began as on the carpet, which in the early 1700s referred to a cloth carpet covering a conference table, and therefore came to mean under consideration or discussion. So I'm not crazy. It is a term. I had no idea what I was saying or meant.
I didn't think you were nuts, but I just
no, I did. I thought
certain parts of the country have like some things that they'll say. No, different areas they'll have like a saying maybe that they say more than not. And
it's an old Midwestern.
Yeah, I've never heard it
from the 1610. No, it's very interesting. I mean, thank you for doing that, Will, because I'm always interested in where these weird phrases come from. We say them every day, and we have no idea. It's like what it even means. You're like, oh, okay, rattamataz. What does that mean? What are we doing?
Going down a rabbit hole?
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of.
Why can't it be a snake hole? Why has it got to be a rabbit hole?
Because there's like a million rabbits in that hole because they have a lot of babies. I think that's what that means, right?
I don't know.
So I'm gonna shoot that down. I mean, snakes have a lot of little babies too, depending, right? So I don't want to squash you on that. Wait, he continues. In 19th century, I like this history class. In 19th century America, however, carpet meant floor covering, and the expression first recorded in 1902 alluded to being called before. I think he probably continues. I hope, because
he ran out of room.
I don't know now. Now I'm like, wait. I don't know. First recorded and alluded to being called before, and then I don't have anything other than this. The more you know, which is hilarious. But I may have lost a piece here unless it came in out of order. So I don't know. Clear me up on that. It is camera day, isn't it? Happy camera day.
Yeah.
Saw John post that this morning. That's great. Which is great timing. I'm using my first 6400.
Happy camera day.
Isn't that great? We need a happy camera day.
Look
at this.
B&H isn't having a sale.
What?
B&H isn't having a sale.
No. Let's do this. Let's do that. Combine. Wait. There I am. Combine.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. So
you're so happy with your little wipe.
So look what I did. Look what I did. I did a little overlay.
That's great.
This will someday come in handy. I just have no idea why. But you know what? It's progress. I'm actually really happy with the shot that I'm getting out of the box. So I hope it comes across on your end as well as crossing on my end. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the colors look better too.
Yeah. Canadians work on Monday, but are off on Thursday. I think Canadians are off like every other week. They seem to have that European.
Yeah, well, it's 4th of July, so that doesn't really apply to the Canadians.
Well, when was Bastille Day? The 14th.
Yeah.
But that's French. I don't know if the Canadians really care so much about that or not. Let's see what we got here. Brian, how do you celebrate this? I would be curious, Brian. Did you find all your cameras, by the way, that you were looking for? Because I feel like maybe if you didn't, we should put them on a milk carton, see if we can locate them.
Do any of them do clean HDMI?
I'm so glad that Pullum can do math. That's good. I like this. It is nice. All right, let's see
That's
what
true.
we got here. It is true. It is true. I think I'm at 51. I think I'm at 51. I've heard the phrase and used it before, but never looked it up until a few minutes ago. Sometimes you just get in your head and then you have conversations like, I got to know, what does that mean? I had no idea. I've never heard of it. I just figured,
I just don't want to be. I
yeah,
want to
this is right. I think, right?
rabbit hole.
I think it's an Alice. in
That's what I
Wonderland.
think too. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not really tech, but you know.
Could be.
So
tech.
I have a question for you guys. So we talked about ND filters not too long ago, and Brian or anybody else. So if I was going to get an ND filter, just have something for outside.
I think I talked about it.
I know you did, but he talked about it too. He just shot you down.
I have one right here for your Canon. I mean, for your Sigma.
You do?
I just bought one.
Okay. Can you can you tell me what it is so I can get one?
Oh God, yeah. Let me pull it up and see if I can.
Can you
find
tell
it.
this little YouTuber what to get? I would love that. That would be fantastic.
Let me just check what I have for you.
While you're doing that, Will's got
Yeah, go ahead.
some follow up here.
Go ahead.
He followed up. First recorded in 1902. Alluded to being called before or reprimanded by a person rich or powerful enough to have a carpet. See, I think that's where I was at in my mind about it was, you're going to call me on the carpet, which you're going to bring me in. You're going to read me the riot act. Another one. Now we got to look up riot act. But, you know, whatever.
God.
It's always something.
This is getting exhausting.
It's exhausting. I can't do it. Let's stay with tech. I can't. Will, you're a trooper.
This is
You're too good for Brian, Will. What's the filter size?
67 millimeters. Okay, you ready, my friend?
Well, whoever 52 was, they're my best new friend. Thank you.
All right, so this is the one that I got right here. Boom. The K&F Concepts. It's pretty darn good, and it's very affordable. And why wouldn't you get it? It's variable. So there you go.
It is variable, huh? Brian, thoughts? Not that it'll matter because you'll be wrong. Just kidding. Those
No, you know what
bucks-
it is? You can spend more money, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And the thing is
yeah, I don't want to spend. I don't want to overspend. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, this is just good for probably, I think, 3 stops or so. And the thing is, you could spend $100 easy, but this is, I'd have to see how many stops this might be good for in general. But this
So
is the one
Brian,
got.
if I had this, can I do that? Can I go out, open up my shutter, go by a river, and get some nice flow, steamy, like that picture had there? That'd be kind of great. It's supposed to help you be able to get those shots. So
Yeah, it's ND2 to ND400, so it's pretty good. But I don't know. I don't think it's usable all the way to 400. That's what I'm saying. So
okay,
you gotta see. But you're with that Sigma lens. No matter what, though, you're gonna have to close. You're gonna have to change the aperture anyway.
I know it, not with video.
Oh, I'm just saying at 1.4.
No, Brian and I having a little bit of a thing.
Oh.
We're streaming buddies, but now I've let go of his little tube. He's on his own for a minute. Never. We're roped together for life, Brian. Can't be. We have to be with YouTubers. Well,
and I also got a UV filter too, just for the heck of it.
Oh God, am I getting into water photography? I'm not. But we have some lovely creeks around here. I thought it'd be a great way to test some knowledge and kind of feel out the shutter and what's happening, and just kind of play around with the triangle. A little ISO, a little aperture, a little shutter. Just kind of get out there and just play. There's no other way to do this other than we get out there and get jiggy with it.
No, you're absolutely gonna need it.
Yeah, so I am gonna need it. It's the only way I can do it. I started using it the other day. Anybody got thoughts on doing 4K in slow motion? Not 4K. So I'll do. What's the best way? So if I want to shoot and I want to get slow motion, I shoot it at 1080 60, right? And then
1080.
I have to do 4K, right? I have to do 4K at 30, right? To bring it down and to get some nice slow motion. I want to shoot to get stuff in slow motion.
1080 120.
Oh yeah, it's the other way around because when you're bringing it down. Okay, thank you. Cleared that up.
Yeah, and then with your camera, you get focusing with that too. So
yeah.
Because the ZV-1, I do not believe has autofocus with 120 frames.
Yeah. The riot act was from the War of 1713. I love this. It first came about April 3rd of the year in a small town of, I have no idea what that is, just outside of Mexico City. Okay, here we go. It's going to be all about the riot act. So looking into circular polarizing filters as well, it makes guys look better and stops reflection. There's so much you can do.
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you my filter that I just bought.
Why?
It's my secret filter. I'm going to show it to you next week.
Okay. Don't show it to me now. We'll save it.
I don't have it, but I have a filter that I have on order.
Oh, okay. You do. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to do a video on it too.
Oh.
So I don't want to.
You don't want to expose it.
Not yet.
Okay. You just made it. Okay. You're not smart. I missed the question. Was looking at filter. Oh, okay. There was no question.
I was looking at pool filters, probably.
There's some about pool filters.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get the ND and your.
I'm probably able to grab the one you got there. Looks like it's fine for what I need.
Yeah, and then when Thursday comes, we're gonna talk about small rigs, small vlogging rigs. Yeah, you got it all put together. I got my 2 things put together. I'm not going to spend a ton of time, but it's really interesting. I love it because it's, it's kind of like what I've always said is sometimes the best thing is what you use the most. Otherwise, you won't use it. So I'm going to go over that a little bit and just have the 2.
I think that should become very clear as I've been milling around trying to get things put together, whether it's friction or whether you just don't want to deal with whatever term you make up. If it's hard, people just don't do it. Like we just are. I mean, some do, but I mean, for the most part, people start to, over time, it wears them down.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? We're all brand new doing everything ourselves. So it's like, how much can someone possibly learn in 1 year? I think if people saw me streaming now, they would have no clue that I've been streaming just since April. Right. So it's like, they're like, that is incredible how well everything's put together, the stuff you have, and they would be kind of like blown away, and it doesn't happen by mistake. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of time. And so along with this, with learning how to edit from scratch, learning how to use cameras now all over again. I mean, it just goes on and on. You're dealing with it right now. Yeah, this was my fear when we were talking about getting the camera. It's like, oh, I know I need to, but I know it's going to be one of those a step back to a couple steps back to move forward things, which I'm all about. I get it. That's part of the learning, right? Part of the pain of education. But here we sit. But we're through it, and I could set this up right now and punch out my 60-second video, throw it up, and I'll be fine. So. You're talking about your intro thing, right? Yeah, like a little trailer thing. Yeah, I'm using an excuse just to get my stupid DaVinci up and running and just have a process in place. Because I also, a lot of people sit here if I was just going to sit here and do it, fine, I could do that. It's not what I want to do. I want to be able to have a boom mic and do things with it, and so that takes a little extra step. And so I'm figuring that out. Wait, I missed this. That's all I do too. Yeah. John Bullum, I was just telling Brian that I was just too upset over the crowd. Yeah, it's very important to stay ahead of the crowd by 2 steps. Here we go again. I don't know where the 2 steps, is that like an Asian thing where people always, the wife had to be 2 steps behind all the time, or is it? No, 2-step is a dance. I don't think that's what it means about the crowd, though. Oh God, we're going down some rabbit holes. Oh God, it's becoming Inception. I got my son's Dasny D50s though. I got those packed away. That's great. Yeah, they're hidden, and they're going to be a surprise for him. Will says he doesn't know anything. He's just, he's like everybody else. He's a good Googler. He's got that's how. It's important. That's how I learn everything on this stuff. When someone asks a question, I just Google it quick and give an answer. Yeah, I have no doubt that Will probably undersells himself. He seems like a pretty slick cat. I think we all do that, and that is a thing. And I think that's why these are fun to talk about, and it's fun to talk about people who are in that same spot to try to pull each other. Look, I'm excited. And then when we're done, and I had that first video that's not alive up there, which is kind of amazing because John, I looked at my playlist, and I looked at our Notion.
with all of our streams.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
You see how long that's getting?
Yeah, I saw it. You're
kind
a
of a-
fanatic with it.
Well,
You're too
I
much.
am.
I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not getting like this.
Well, it's
No
easy
way.
to do, though. It takes me no time to do it.
That's what you say. What's up, Patrick?
Patrick, he came in a little bit earlier. I guess I missed him. He was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm late. We don't." Or no, sorry, am I early? No,
I'm sorry I missed your stream on, I believe, Sunday. It just I totally watched the whole thing afterwards, but I wasn't able to be there live. I literally just missed it because, Sundays are tough sometimes depending on what's going on. Actually, it was my
real life Sundays. Oh.
It was my wife's grandmother's, I believe it was 87 or 88 years, her birthday. Yeah, her birthday. So
Patrick, you're gonna keep doing Sundays, right? Though I mean, this is going to be something that you continue to do. And I wasn't home either when it came on. I got a notification, and I'm like, oh. So
he's going away though for like a month to California. Yeah, so he said that streams might be a little tough. Now, I would like to see him do a stream from California.
Take your phone and do a stream. I'd actually be totally into that.
Listen, I know this guy's taking his M1 anyway. So
don't mess with us. We know we got the M1 packed.
I want to see his stream out there and just do a quick stream, do a hello stream, talk about something, and let's have a stream.
But I am a little disturbed about the Jeeves.
Remember that?
Jeeves. The stupid stuff that they had. Remember it's like the Microsoft paperclip and everything. Oh, I'm going to help you figure out what to do with Microsoft Off, and the paperclip would come out in the animation.
Oh yeah,
remember that? I'm like, that was fun for like 3 seconds, and then I couldn't. I'm like, how do we turn this guy off? This is annoying.
That reminds me of, remember Saturday mornings? I'm just a bill.
Capitol Hill. I like that. I'm just a bill.
I'll make it to the top someday.
The one I didn't like was Figure Eight. I didn't like the skating one. It was too slow and girly at the time. Everything was a Figure Eight, and it was so slow. But I like the Bill one. Was good. Yeah, although he looked like he was drunk, kind of sad in a way when you think about
That's old stuff,
it's
man.
It's so old. It was old when we were watching it. Most likely, I always appreciate you guys stopping by live. Well, we one way or the other, we're going to support you, whether it's replay or live for sure. And Sunday was tough. My wife is off all week. Started Friday, and she's not home today, which is interesting. She went up north with a friend of hers, and I'm probably getting divorce papers probably this evening. Probably what's happening. Like, I don't want to be home when the divorce papers come.
But that's why I say, like, just always do what's best for you, and you got to build a stream anyway, and you got to start finding your people. And so if you're just doing the stream period and showing up and talking about the stuff you like to talk about, then you might just have a couple people running into a stream that you would have never seen before. So just keep on doing them no matter what. And like here, like we've had people come and go, people just stop in and say hi and then leave, and people that used to come here a lot or don't, and whatever the case is, when everybody wants to pop in or stop in, and it's going to be a constant flux of people, because once you get to a point where maybe you know how to stream for the first time, or you know how to set things up, or you got the equipment you need, then you shouldn't have to be here every day listening to learn how to do these things or to work on your tech, right?
Right.
Isn't that the idea? It's kind of like you got to leave the nest, right?
I mean, we love that people stop in even for 5 minutes, say hi. Of course, that makes our absolute night.
Yeah.
But we get that, and we know that, our plan is to go out there and get other like-minded people who need help, that are really, they're good, like the Zans of the world, and Brian's and Patrick's and Ash's, like all the people we have. We just want to get more of them and have them come in, and we're always going to have that. But yeah, so, look, and he says he's not taking the M1, but he is taking the MacBook Pro, and I promise he'll go live at least once.
Yeah.
I bet he better.
Yeah.
That could be on a beach somewhere. I don't know where he's going. Do you know where he's going in California? Like a location, like LA,
I forget what he said.
San Diego.
I forget exactly, but I mean, do a stream, even if it's like a chill out stream. We could talk.
Everything in LA is going to be chill out, man. So
yeah,
okay.
So
Brian says when it comes to filters, it's sometimes a good idea to get bigger size than you need and use step-up rings to save money. I've heard of this. It is something I considered.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
I've done it because, say, my M50, I have the original lens that came with it, and then you have a 22 millimeter lens, and it's like between 49 millimeter and a 52. So you just use a step up for a cheap amount, and you don't have to buy separate filters. You just use the filters that you have.
Now Brian, you're overloading me here. So use a matte box with square filters, or it's an option.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that. That's
I might be just a little bit beyond my.
But that's what
needs.
Professionals do.
It is. I mean, it's a great. I mean, you could tell where he's coming from. But I'm just not going to be shooting that kind of.
We're not Potato Jet.
No, we're not Potato Jet.
I'd love to be.
I'd love to be.
Oh my God,
Very
I love him.
Stuff.
One of my favorite channels.
It is mine too. I really enjoy him.
He's real. He's
very real. Yeah, he's out there doing that deal.
Yeah.
Southern California.
Anaheim.
So, Anaheim.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends on the West Coast, but I haven't visited in a while. So I was just curious. And most of them are in San Diego, I think, though.
Yeah, I got a couple of family members in California. I got Arizona, and actually, my sister just sold her house in Arizona. My aunt has a house in Arizona also, and then I have my other family in Hawaii. Remember that came on the one day?
Yep.
Yeah. So both my aunts and my uncles had houses in Hawaii.
So yeah, they were fun when they came on.
Yeah, that was a blast. I had a good time.
That was nice. They sent some great support. I love that when that happened. So the crowd I got in here tonight, I just have a question for you, John. I remember I mentioned to you, I think I'm going to paint down here. These walls are a little like orangey tinty, and I have a Savage background that's it's not quite 18%, but it's in that neutral frame. And I'm just thinking, you know what? I may paint my walls kind of a neutral gray. I've been looking around at Bear and Sherwin-Williams.
I was supposed to get you a color, wasn't I? So if my wife is still listening, which I'm not sure she is, but if she is, could you drop in the color of my room? Which it is not what you see because I have lights shining in the back, but it is a gray and it's damn close to.
It's close enough to a neutral.
It is.
I have issues here. This throws off a lot of red. This color I've got on the wall, and it's more, and I've noticed it, and I want something more neutral for everything that I'm doing.
Everything's going to pop more when you.
It's just going to be better. It's going to be, and I'm going to assume that you went with a flat finish and not a
yeah, absolutely. We would never buy eggshell or like egg. My wife actually, she knows so much about this stuff. So to be honest with you, she knows where to use the different paints and. Yeah,
she's got that. She's got that vibe. You know, she knows what she's doing. I think I'm gonna get down here. I'm gonna paint this. I'm excited to do it. I hate painting, but I'm be excited to paint this.
Whoa! Stop the house, bro. I can't even go any further because look. Do you see your chat?
Oh no! Is it this guy?
Yeah.
All right. So which one of us, Andy? First of all, Andy, I loved that you stopped in to say hi with your.
This is the first time that he stopped into our stream.
It is, and I'm so happy to see him. That's very cool. Andy,
this is really cool.
We know Andy from a streaming group that we got involved with in April.
Yeah,
and
super talented.
Super talented. This man is a storyteller,
man. He's a storyteller,
and I mean that in a good way because some people are like, "Oh, they're storytellers." This dude's a real storyteller. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like a captivating storytelling.
Yeah.
And so that's why we. And so, Andy, it is so great to see you. And I feel like, we haven't talked enough lately and chatted enough, but I'm so glad to see you. And which one's smart and which one's cool? Because I don't believe either one of us has both. So
first of all, when I see a picture of him in his YouTube channel,
I know
he reminds me of George Costanza's father. He does.
Oh, yeah, he's got a little bit of that. And that's good because Andy, I know Andy for a fact, loves.
Oh, he must love.
Loves.
Yeah, who doesn't love Seinfeld?
We've had
the way he talks, right? Reminds me of
totally.
Yeah.
He's got that energy that he totally could be Daddy Costanza.
And so that means that he watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. I hope, Andy. I absolutely love that show. I
probably have watched that series start to beginning like 3 times already. I just love dipping into. It's just a feel good show for me.
Yeah.
I could see you liking it. You and I, we're gonna get
Oh
together
my
one day. We're
God.
gonna go sit down. We're gonna watch like a whole
Dude,
marathon of that.
that's me. That
Yes.
I am so sarcastic.
Love it.
And
Yep.
the one that cracks me up the most is when, because he's Jewish, and
Yeah.
he thinks that these people, he's driving on the highway with his wife, and he thinks these people are like drowning in the river. He runs out there and pulls the guy out, and he was getting like baptized or something. And so now he's like a savior for the Jewish people,
Yeah.
like he's pulling Christians out of the river to stop getting baptized. And so
Yeah.
he's like, they're all saying this, and he's like, he felt like it was like such an amazing thing that he like didn't tell anybody that he really just thought the guy was drowning. He thought the other guy was drowning him. But that was a great show. But
It's a great show. I just love it. And so I'm not trying to dismiss that. I just noticed people are actually responding to the Great Walls.
Yeah.
And I love this. So apparently other people think maybe it's a good idea.
yeah, I think it's a great.
If
I
use
told
Gray,
you.
and I have these beautiful. I mean, I'm going to do a review on these GVM 800Ds.
Yeah,
and
you should.
there's some cons to them, but for here usage, for the money, huge pros. I've really enjoyed them. I would never take them out and use them at like DJ Central or
No.
they're too cheap for that. But for what they are here, I've really enjoyed them. So Brian says, yeah, exactly.
So
Can
you
use
see the color. My wife said, right? Benjamin
Yeah, I'm
Moore.
getting down to that. Yeah, I'm going to go down
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Paint and time lapse.
Yeah.
So I
That'd
can
be
do
cool.
that. You could, Brian. Okay, Brian. I'll paint in time lapse if you can tell me what's the best way to approach that for the 6400. So deal. I will definitely do that. And I need that information anyway because I have some time lapse stuff I want to do when I build the acoustical panels that I want to put up on these walls. So she's saying strong on gray.
Yeah.
Benjamin
Moore. Will you buy all?
I don't know if I got a Benjamin Moore near me.
That's good paint. Really good paint.
So Sherwin Williams is a one coder too, though. Okay, strong and gray. Okay, maybe though, what I could do, I don't know if I could get the color code though. I can take that anywhere and have it made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much for that, Daniel. I appreciate that. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to have to come back in the chat and write it down because I'll forget. Oh, you go on. We are going on, Andy. Dang it. He was a good he's another one of the gems that we found in that group, and I'm just so happy he stopped in.
Who's the other gems? Because
I think Brian Paul's a gem. You were a gem, absolutely. That you and I just hit it off right away.
we're not gems.
We're not gems. We're kind of like
no one cared about us.
No, we're the dirty black sheeps that
No one cared.
no one cares about. I don't know that we're ultra cool. My shirt's cool tonight, though. I'll give you that. It's true.
I'm not ultra
But
cool,
if you're talking curb, now that's smart and cool. Yeah, I mean, this is a great show. Big fan of it.
huge.
Yeah. Did you see the Palestine chicken? Yes, I've seen that.
I can't remember all this. I have to. You know what I'm going to do? That's one thing I think maybe I'll work on is watching all the shows over again because they just make me laugh so much.
Yeah, I'm not doing mine in white. I'm going to do mine in gray. I tell you where I was a believer. I've watched enough talking about the backgrounds and choose white, black, gray. Doing a neutral gray around at 18% or even close to it. I picked up the Savage paper that's close to that just to do that for a B-roll area, and it works beautifully with the RGBs. The white, why would I need that? I can make white out of my gray, honestly, if I really wanted to.
Right.
So
she actually suggested this for me because she was going one shade difference in the rest of the downstairs and the kitchen, and so she told me that we're going to go this shade in here for the reason of being more neutral, and it was like one shade difference.
I
but
noticed
it made a
it right
difference.
away, and I just kind of let it go, and then once I got my RGB lights, I'm like, okay, I gotta say something,
Right.
which was, I love that. Will you be mad if I paint mine same color? Now it won't matter because our light color options. This over here is this is an 800 throw cast, and there's some other different cast from the other ones. I mean, even though we'll have the same gray walls-ish, it won't look the same because we'll be changing them up. It'd just be easier to do it. And Brian, that's kind of my point. Like, gray can be white or black. I mean, if you're going to get one, get gray because you just got to change the intensity of the light.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why, like right here, I
a
what
Coventry Gray by Ben Moore is one chart. Okay, my thing about that is it's good to know, and I'll take a look at them. I don't want to go too dark because I'm already in an area that I don't know, it's probably 20 by 20, let's just say-ish. I mean, so it's not too small. I know if you get into like 15, you want it lighter for sure. No, I actually might want to go darker because of the reflective stuff. But I mean, I'm wide enough. I think I can go lighter, and I don't want to be too dungeony, if that makes any sense. But thank you. I'll take a look at that. And yes, ash is a gem for sure.
See, look at that.
Sherwin-Williams used Harmony line. Darn good paint. Yes, I've heard some great things about the Sherwin-Williams paint, and they do have a couple. I want to say the metallic white, or what do they call it? Metallic. Maybe I'm thinking metallic gray, but that might be a I'm thinking, what's the paint company at Home Depot? Burr, whatever it is.
Garbage though.
Bear. It's okay. I think I would go Sherwin-Williams first, or Ben Moore first.
I would go. Yeah, those are two quality paints. Sherwin-Williams.
I don't think they are. That's good to know, by the way, because I have a Sherwin-Williams that's like a block away, and I might, if worst case is, I might pull up the ones that Danielle gave me, see if I can figure out or take some kind of code and get it done at Sherwin-Williams, just because it's
absolutely. Just go pick it up.
I don't know about blue. I mean, Tom Buck's blue is cool. I really like his studio is amazing. I've been with Tom Buck probably from day 2 of looking at YouTube. Big fan. He's got the little drum set in the background, so you know he's cool. I don't know how much he plays it, but he has it. I love his studio. It's nice and bright. In fact, I wanted to kind of go that direction at one time, but I watched how he actually gets that, because he has to really pump a lot of light. Jesus, John. I like that. He's got to pump a lot of light to get it so airy in there, but I do love that.
He's got all the Falcon lights.
And I do have a lot of extra lights, so I was considering John doing that and seeing how it is. 'Cause I do like that. It's just easier to get darker down here than it is brighter. Sad, but yeah. Danielle, gray is such a hard color because it can throw blue. Yes. So yeah, I definitely want to be careful with that, and just stay as neutral as possible and stay out of the too bluey, that too purple. Stay away from eggshell. Don't want green. So yeah, I appreciate that. And it's something that people need to be aware of. You think, oh, it's gray. You get it back home and you're throwing a lot of blue. And it also, of course, depends on, what your K values are, stuff like that too. So
now
see
you're
what we
dropping
got
K.
going on here. I understand 17% what you're talking about, but you're both alluring in your own ways. Well, that's good. You're almost at 18%, which would be kind of the standard neutral gray. So, we only understand about 19%. And this is just cracking me up. Whatever's happening over here, the colors, the looks, it's a little bit like a deer in the middle of the road. A big old truck's coming barreling down. Look at it. There it is. It doesn't know. Should I leave? Should I stay? Should I let this thing hit me? I don't know what to do. Oh my God. You're going to get hit.
I love it. I love it.
I've lost. Wait. Where's your mic?
Did
you hit the mic? Did I hit the mic?
No, my mic.
Never mind. I muted myself. I literally went back here and hit this Go XLR and somehow muted you. So,
oh God,
it's like my stream deck for idiots.
Listen, she's right. Benjamin Moore is the best paint you can get, but
oh yeah, you can find them.
But listen, it's like $60 a gallon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you pay for good stuff. Sometimes you have to do it.
Well, we like it because it really holds up well.
Patrick says, John, constant changing back color. I see it. It's just like a child just doing things, it's like a child. You see them cutting their own hair, and you think, I could
know why you have.
Or I could recognize this, but you know what? You're going to just continue cutting your own hair. I'm going to let you do it. You're going to school.
Why do you have to be so hurtful?
I don't think it hurts you, John. I don't think you have the ability to hurt.
Wow.
I know that was
hurtful.
That was kind of deep. I really went after you. Yeah.
I feel like you did.
I don't know, Patrick. Sometimes I just feel like you got to let him get out of his system. He's not going to stop. So, let him chew the paint. Let him eat the paint or the chalk or whatever he's doing over there.
Let me eat the rug.
Not gray, Jeff. The color John has.
What?
I lost track of that.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
She doesn't know I have gray. I don't think so.
his walls are gray though.
Yeah, my walls.
And
Are
so
gray.
he can bounce off. He can pretty much get any color he wants out of
Exactly.
those RGBs. Yeah. The Easter Bunny is laying eggs on John's screen. It's just, I've been watching it, noticing it, feeling like maybe Danielle could walk in there with maybe some Adderall or maybe a warming blanket or a thunder blanket or something to calm him down. He's having, he's a little bit out there, but
You guys are crazy.
John, can you do this? Can you just show what your natural walls are
Well, no, because I don't have enough lighting on them.
to show the
You know,
gray?
If
You'd have to dump off the RGBs, and you wouldn't have enough lighting to.
I have them almost all the way off right now, actually.
Do you really?
So
These lenses.
that's off.
Yeah, it's still hard to see. You'd have to pop off.
That's what I'm
that one.
saying. That you'd have to really light.
I mean,
push a lot of light on it.
it's shocking, but it's a lovely. I mean, for gray, it's lovely. Would you say yours is on the cool side of the gray?
I can't. I feel.
Danielle, can you answer the big
let her
boy
say.
question?
I feel like I believe she said that this might have like a little blue in it tint, maybe. She knows. She
Simple
knows
answer is
more than I
yes.
do. So
I was just wondering if you just ran a little more blue. I'm trying to guess back there. She'll tell me.
oh, it was. Yeah,
And
but-
by the way, again, she's correcting you.
yeah, it's 42 a gallon for the low
Well,
one.
it's $20 difference.
Yeah, because I was
So-
thinking that we use the most expensive kind. There's 3 levels. With,
There are. What
with
level
the-
did you use? Now I need to know.
I think the lower at that price.
I mean, but their paint's pretty one coat no matter
And
what.
that was only because my uncle wasn't working there. So
How do we have
my
gotten
uncle
through-
Roy, when
Where
he works
is
there, I
Roy?
get it
We
for
need
even
him.
cheaper.
So if Roy was there,
If
But if
Roy
you
was
weren't-
there, he brings me up to mid level at the same price.
yeah, but if Roy was still there, would it be worth you buying it for me and then shipping it to me?
No, I'll wait till you get out here.
Well, but I mean, what's the point? Well, I guess if I'm already out there, fine.
When you come out,
But if I was making a trip for just the paint,
Uh.
that's ridiculous. That's not going to work out at all.
I don't know why you gotta be so.
I'm an ass. Patrick, idea for John. Have the colors changing when you get a new subscriber. I love this idea. But what Patrick, why
I got the
can't that
dance
be
in
for
person.
me? Why can't I have, why? Because it would take 4 weeks to see a color change.
I would never say that.
The eyes. Oh, those eyes are terrible. I see what you're saying with those eyes.
I would never say that.
Hang on. I'm changing. Wait. This is the way it's going to be now, the rest of the show.
Is it?
No. Back. It's not a bad idea, though. I like that idea. But you got your little dancing dude. Have you answered that, though? Have you done your dancing dude in front of the green screen so we can see you dancing when you get a new subscriber? When is that going to happen?
I don't want to do that
Why?
because it's
It'd be incredible.
it's overrated.
No, it's not overrated. I want you need to memorize.
I changed the letters for you, by the way.
Did
If
you?
you make
Yeah,
me
they were
bigger.
little. They weren't too great. I need to see you do this, man. I need you to do the whole dance that your little guy's doing there. That would please me.
I don't think it would.
No, but it would be hilarious.
I made when you told me that, I made the letters bigger. I made them bolder.
Okay, it looks
And-
good, man. I love the idea of it. Can we call Roy?
I know. I want to call Roy.
Why?
Roy. He's got his own painting business too.
Oh yeah, let's all call Roy because this is a lot of wall down here, my friend. This is going to cost me a couple bucks over at Ben Moore.
You're gonna do it though, right? Yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to paint it myself. I paint my whole house. I put all my wood floors in myself. I put on my electric outlet. I do everything myself. I built my
You do
own
everything.
deck. I do. I do it.
Doing
I'm
your
a-
own editing too?
I'm doing my own editing.
Wow.
I'm not going to have some guy at Fiverr do my editing, although there might be a time when I would love to do that. No, I'm excited for the editing. That's the whole thing. Like when we were putting together the audio plugins today, I'm like, can't wait. I know it's not all about that. And I probably won't even need anything but maybe one NS1 noise suppression thing, but it's exciting.
Well, I do know that vMix accepts those
VST3s?
Yeah.
That is amazing. I have some killer VST3s to play with.
Yep.
Um,
I do know that.
I think that's going to get fun for us. And by the way, I might have a, don't buy an S1, John, because I might have one for you that I don't need any longer.
An S1.
The NS1 plugin, noise suppression one. That's one I was telling you about. Did you go
okay.
The 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was right. It's a cool gray. So I figured it was a cool gray. I think I'm gonna go cool too. Just one step down and maybe cooler than. Here you go. You can tell it's a cool gray because it's smoking and wears a leather jacket.
That was my nickname on the dance floor. You know,
that wins. I love
smoking.
He is underselling himself. That's great. He writes. I'm going to have Will write for my first actual video. I got a timeout back there and I don't like it. I can see it. It bugs me out. So I'm going to hit my mouse and we're going to. We'll do this.
My God.
We'll do this in post. It's going to be fine.
I love the chat right now.
Chat's great. Forget Fiverr. I'll edit videos for any of you guys, but I need creative freedom.
Oh God.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with Brian.
Oh, I know.
He's gonna put on that hat. His beard's gonna be down to like troll length, and every video it's gonna have, like, you know how they had those subliminal messages during the Cold War. He's gonna have orangutans. That orangutan video stuff coming in, like, and everybody's gonna be like, "Why do we want to watch orangutan videos all the time?"
Yeah,
that's gonna happen.
I think he'll. If anything, anything's better than me. I'm learning. I want to.
Do you not like editing? Is this something you're just not?
I do. I just can't. I don't feel like what I would want is I can't do it yet. You know, like I can picture what I would like. I would like a lot of speed ramping and a lot more cuts and, you know, things to make things look a lot more exciting. But it's
that's a rough deal. And we talked about this, and you're laughing at, I'm not going to do all this thing where you put. Well, how hard is it to put one entry into Notion with your stupid? I've been doing your entries for the live streams to split up.
I saw that.
You did see that?
Yes.
I'm going to do it. I'm telling you, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, man. So,
but no, like, I just want to get better at editing, and I want to include more things. Like, first you got to get good at the basic. Like, when my cuts are clean, like, you ever see somebody, they make a cut and they leave like a half a frame in there?
Yeah.
And then you see the stutter, you know.
Yeah.
I try to make things like that not happen, and so, you know, the basic things come out decent, and then eventually start working up to making making my audio sound decent, you know, and correcting a few things.
There's a lot.
EQing.
The links in this chain of creation it's just ridiculous. The stuff you have to buy and learn we are all underselling ourselves at the places we are, even right now, all of us, at what this takes.
Yeah.
And that's why, you can laugh at me all you people want, but when it comes to productivity and efficiency, I can't foresee doing long-term these type of things without at least some balance of efficiency and productivity. I can't do it.
Yeah,
maybe other people can.
A lot to do, man.
It's a lot. So I'm even going to add, I have B-roll in my video Notion setups, because I think even if you don't do it all, having some ideas of B-roll and setting that up, I feel is going to be helpful we're going to have discussion on that. And Daniel says, always need 2 coats. I don't think I've ever gotten away with just 1 coat.
No, it's never safe.
It's never safe. I will build you a barn. I will replace your wood floors. I hate painting. Painting is the worst, but for this, I'll love it because it's for me. Will says, speaking from experience, don't give.
Oh.
So Will and Brian are no longer
finally
friends.
Somebody.
So let's just So Brian, what do you have to say to this? Please post below.
Finally, somebody to get back Brian.
Oh, Brian just got hammered by Will. Oh my God! Let the anger begin. Patrick said he loves to do the. I loved. I heard him. I'll get this. I love to do the editing for videos. Being in front of the camera takes me out of my comfort zone. Fair, which is part of the reason why I do it. Forcing myself to get out. See, I have no problem in front of the camera. That's never been a problem for me.
Yeah, me.
I mean, part of it is I've been lucky enough to be in front of the camera enough for 20 some years in music, one way or the other. So I kind of got ambivalent to it.
I only got in front of the camera when I got booked. So,
did Did you enjoy the profile photo? Did you like, I don't like this light. Where's my key light?
Right. I felt like the lighting was really making me.
Did you
look
point
older.
to, I want 3-point lighting
Yeah.
in the hair lighting. Was that overkill for you?
I didn't have hair.
I got hair lighting. I bet I have to lean back to get the cool hair lighting. I don't have it placed right. You know, I respect that, Patrick. I really do. And maybe that's, you know, we all have our strengths of what, and I love that you're saying I do it because I know I have to kind of lean into something I'm not comfortable with. Because let's be honest, when you're not comfortable is when you know you're probably learning something.
It's true.
And for me, I think editing, even though I enjoy it, I think I'm worried about not the editing part. I've got to let go of what people may think or think that's not enough, because that's so stupid. Because let's just be honest, I'm not the center of the world. No one's going to care enough to worry about my stupid edits.
Yeah, you don't want to paralyze yourself.
Right. He is a lifesaver. I'm going to tell you, Will, I don't like that you're so close to Brian, because I really have had to lean on Brian for some help since we got to know each other. And I just feel like you may be taking up too much of his time. Is this turning in one of those like creepy friend like movies where it's like,
he's my friend first,
you know, where you get him in a corner at a party and you're like, never talk to Brian again. Never. If you value whatever, don't ever talk to Brian again. He's dead.
I heard about this stream. That's why I came on.
Yep. The orangutan. I love it. Working news for 10 years, you'll get that's the thing. Like, would news editing be like, I would equate that to being a MASH unit, like for surgery. Like, you do that stuff enough. You go to Korea or some military place and you work in a MASH unit as a surgeon, you get really good at doing the basics really well. I mean, because
I would imagine like you got to get the footage there, right? It's like,
yeah, I mean, you
either
just
got the footage or you don't.
Like, dude, I need this in 3 minutes. We go on.
Right.
Now, maybe there's more other people. I don't want to like diminish them to like, oh, we're hacking arms off. So we're not doing a great job. I'm sure it's really surgical and artsy when you have time. I'm just saying that you have to learn to get a volume done, I would imagine. Just going to let you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to sit in this
95 degrees here every day. I'm not.
It's all you.
That. I was supposed to do that in April.
I'm good. You take 5 minutes, John, and spend your time answering this question.
I was supposed to do that in April, so now.
When did you move into the house?
Well, we moved in like I think the end of January, because we spent like at least 4 to 6 weeks or more fixing things up before we moved in. So,
and John, when would you say you found out that the transformer was not operational?
No, we knew it worked. It was just that we put a ring on the front of the house. And so now it's running off of battery power. So it's not like essential, but she wants her doorbell to work.
Well, so, when did your wife?
Well, as soon as you hook up the ring.
When did she first, John, answer the question. When did she first approach you that she would like to have this transformer replaced?
Oh, no. She didn't even know until I told her. I mean, I had to go and figure out the wiring first, and then I had to figure out that we're short on voltage. And so then I bought the transformer, and I just lacked on putting it in sooner than, I should.
I feel like this story has some holes in it, and I suspect we will get the real story
that's
down
true.
Below.
Probably not, right? We'll find out.
You're a good sport taking it.
We'll find out in any second.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Will. He's a great guy, and I can tell you guys are buds. I love it. I like this. Boys. What would his voice be? He's got that. First of all, I think Brian's like, John's got a killer voice. Brian's got a really great voice, though. So I just, boys. There's plenty of camera and tech to go around. I can't do his voice. He's got. It's not nasal.
Boys.
Yeah. Boys. Yeah. He doesn't. He lists. He not lists.
He talks slow too.
Yeah. Boys.
There's plenty of camera talk to go around.
Yeah, I like that. That's God. That's it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think he's talking about the MASH unit thing, or where you're doing so much volume, that repetition you just got you in your sleep.
But I would also imagine, like with news, right? It's like you got the footage that you have is what you have, right? And then you got to take it back and put it all together. So there's no going back and adding anything. So you got to,
hey, we need some more. We need more,
people and explosives and stuff. So,
like, this is all I got to work with. It's like, but you really get, I imagine, get really good at seeing. I mean, beyond the physical aspect of working the editor, getting an eye point, or like I could see, okay, this because cut to you know right away from looking at the footage, probably how the story can get laid out.
right.
Just in a macro, like you can just sit here and look at it and go, yeah. Okay, got it. Cut. You got your story. Like that's. I think that is where you and I are like, God, I wish we had that skill set. Now, the only way we can do that is to do repetition. And I think we know that. That's even hard though. Even if you're doing a video a week, it's going to take a long time to acquire that type of. These guys are light years ahead.
But the thing is, though, and this is what you got not to get hung up on. Like, Everyday Dad.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, right. He's got a huge following.
Yeah.
And we can go on and on with the people, right, that have great big followings, and they're not the most amazing editing type of material. It's really him describing it and the way he does it and how he goes about reviewing the stuff. I mean, so I don't want to get hung up on just that everything has to be so impressive. I don't think it does. At some point,
there's so many styles.
Clean,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've gone through this minutia of looking at this guy and like, oh, I love it. I look at this guy, I love it. Look at the stinger. Look at the intro. Look at the music, right? And then I've gotten to the point where it's like, I don't want to even deal with all that.
Yeah.
I really want to be a minimalist when it comes to this. I want to tell the story through some edits, B-roll of the issue at hand. Maybe even I'm a lover of music, as being a musician. I know you could tell a really cool story with the right music. And so I think by marrying, getting my vision, getting two cameras, trying to get some multicam shot, for me, that's the most important thing. Like, I would like to tell the story more that way than to get stupid on animations. That's not my thing. I don't want to get crazy with that. Just be a little bit good at cuts. Obviously, give good information, keep the pace. I kind of like a little bit more of a docu view of what I'm doing. Other than that, it's just really going to come down to delivery and who we are as individuals. We both are sarcastic. You're not really sarcastic in your videos. I'm probably going to be a little bit of a sarcastic ass because that's who I am. I'm irreverent as hell. And so that's just good. I can't run from it. That's who it's got to be.
Yeah. I think like until I have probably, 100 videos, I won't be myself, because I just feel like it's harder for me to be myself in a video than it is in a live stream. In a live stream, it's like I could just be me. I feel like my thought process is so involved in getting everything correct and the things I want to portray to get across and, the specifics of it, and still hopefully put something together. And my head is so wrapped around trying to make it complete that I feel like my personality sometimes doesn't really come out 100%. So I know it doesn't, but it will. In time.
That's the thing. Like, you came up with your strength, you're going to catch up to that where I came in a little bit more calm about it. But I notice it. Like, if I go to shoot some test footage to test things out to see what the vibe is, I even changed a little bit, and I got a little bit irritated with myself when I saw that. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to stop that nonsense. Like, just do what you do, and let it be. And at the end of the day, I put your time into the energy of knowing what you're talking about. And I think that's where I'm going to live probably. So
right, because you got to learn the basics. That's what I said first, and then throw a new thing in, and then get uncomfortable because you're always going to want to try to improve, and it's always just even if it's the little thing, like I want to just do 1 or 2 speed ramps first, if I just did one in a video, okay, I did it once, I know how to do it. I did the multicam, okay, I know how to do that. It's like you get these things under your belt, and then a couple years go by, and then you're making a video with all these types of things included on, each video.
It's about stacking the assets.
That's it, right?
That could be knowledge. It could be physical things. It could be like, oh, I've created my own, LUTs because over time or whatever, I'll cheat a little bit. I picked up a couple things like some lower thirds things so I can get some things done, but I don't want to over animate my stuff. I realize, unless it's necessary for the content.
I could tell with you, like your creativity, level of things is a quick learn for you. You know, like I feel like that I could see that in you, and then the other things that may be easier for me, I see that like spend more time ironing those things out.
That's true.
We're like almost opposites on
We
that
are. Yeah.
factor.
If we were one person, we'd really be able to knock some stuff out.
Right.
I mean, really, if we were.
But you got to remember, we weighed 415 pounds if that was the case.
Yeah, but we'd be 450 pounds of knocking it out, man. We'd be like, they were like, who's that big dude who's got the content and this down, you know?
Like I could tell, like even your lighting, like every week it just gets a little better.
Yeah,
because I think you go back, and I know you do, because I know you. You go back, you look at the videos, you look at the way things look, and then you go, okay, I see this, I see that, and then we talk about a few things. Like, I know, like even when I just mentioned to you that your lighting was a little heavy on your arms and stuff. Now I look at your arms today, it's like way better.
Yeah,
way better.
I absolutely changed some things, and I'm just trying to find that balance because it is important. And feedback is so good to get, but
that's it's another thing that I was talking about with people in these groups that I talk to, and they were just saying like it is such a hard thing to get honest feedback from other creators.
That's true.
I mean, I am so sick and tired of being stroked. You know, it's like I don't want to hear about how good this is or that. Okay, because I know, like I know when I'm being told something that's not true. So
I think, well, the thing is, it's weird, right? Because when you're new, you know a little bit about like, you might be a little fragile, vulnerable, and so you might know that, so you may tend to do the wrong thing. You may tend to go, "Ooh, I don't really want to hurt this person. They're new, and I don't want to like stop their energy." But to your point, that could be the worst thing you do, because what they really do is need honest feedback. Yeah. Now you need to trust the mouth it's coming from.
But that's why I feel like maybe having like Aaron was saying, is like having a group, or even Clint, right? Clint stopped in here and said hi.
Yeah.
Even the fact of Clint saying something similar like that a few weeks back. Remember, he was like saying that I could go for some honest feedback, but he doesn't get it from anybody, And I'm kind of like,
people ask for honest feedback and they don't really want it though.
I kind of feel like why don't we do something here and there where we can get a few people together in StreamYard?
Yeah,
and we could do a private session with us and give honest.
Let us know,
feedback
Chad, if you let us know. Like,
does that sound like a good idea to anybody?
Yeah, if it's a private thing, we can come in. We can all, and you could talk about our stuff. And I really appreciate the comment online, because I do work hard. I've sat here for a long time tweaking all sorts of lights and angles, trying to find it. I really feel good about this. Do we feel like this is a good level of color saturation? That was the problem with the 5100. No matter what I did, it was like oversaturated. But I really like the balance here. I kind of feel like it feels good. Or do you feel like it's not?
It's hard to say, because remember, we're in 720, and when I look at you and I see me, I look sharp right now because it's me, and then you look sharp in your picture. Right. So it's hard to tell unless we're in 1080. You know what I mean? At least
we'll look at that in VMix and
if we go to VMix, you'll get a better idea.
Before we move on to that other conversation, I just want to finish off the line of questioning here. Because they closed in December, started so we were here.
Yeah.
So, I think in Danielle's mind, she feels like, because I feel like a therapist. I think what Danielle's saying, she feels like you didn't honor her request before,
No, this is all me anyway. This wasn't her thing. This is like, I could take the ring off and I could hook that doorbell up and it would work, but I wanted the ring we both wanted the ring in the front. And, it was just me being.
It's important that you recognize that you both want it. That's all we were looking for here. Yeah. It's okay now. We've learned something today. Next week, you guys come in.
I got to put the ring in the rear too. Soon. I got to buy another camera too.
Context.
I almost bought a A6400.
Phrasing. You have what you have. You have to make it work. You actually get really creative. My big.
He's talking about the footage. I think.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and Will. That's so true with the footage. It's so true with anything.
Yeah.
I stumble around with a A5100. You work with what you have. You get creative. You figure things out. You learn. And not having the best is sometimes it's always the best lesson. I'm sorry. In your guys' case, you have what you have. You make it work with the footage you have. And I just feel like that just stimulates a part of your brain with that repetition about how to deal with that. And that's why you're not going to bring John and I to work the news hour. Okay. Because nothing is going to get on at night. It's going to be an awful slow news night. We're going to have to do a puppet show. But I would agree with this. Everyday Dad is great follow. I totally love following him.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he's just, it comes out and this is what exactly that I was talking about earlier. Like all this stuff pertains to this. It's just, he stopped talking about cameras because of the community is so toxic. And it's just like, and I don't want to.
Audio is the same way though, really.
Oh yeah. But
I mean audio files are just a pinch.
I think the longer you stay in anything big, this is a huge platform, YouTube. And you can easily get wrapped up into these toxic areas with people. And that is part of what I'm trying to avoid at this point. You come in and you're streaming heavy and you're making the best progress you can. And I think the bigger people always question your intentions and the smaller people are always looking to improve. But the best you can do is be yourself and show up to the table every time and never step across that bound in everything. Like when I go into these streams, I might drop a little something funny here and there, but for the most part, I'm not there dropping like what my video did or what my link did, or I won't drop that I have like new shirts that you can buy. I'm not going to do that crap. No, trust me, it happens all the time.
We do it here though all the time.
Look at my video. It's got like, what we talk about, it's different.
It's on our stream, of course.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like, I'm not there to promote myself like pushing forward. I'm there to, I want to kind of like when you're a kid, right? You go to school and you start popping in and hanging out with this group, that group a little bit. And then you find out who's for you, who's not for you. And then you just kind of roll with the people who are for you, like those people are the same morals, the principles, like what you were just discussing earlier. Like we all just want to be on a level of, being trusted and want to be trusted, and trust other people.
Yeah, it's a little more intimate. You're building a relationship, and one that has similar values, and it's not easy to find. This is a tough platform for that, and
because the self-promotion is off the hook sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't have problems with self-promotion, but at the end of the day, it's got to the best self-promotion you have, of course, is content and doing things well and learning. Right. And I think people often look for shortcuts, or maybe they just don't know. So I think it's always good to come back and have that discussion and point that out, John, and kind of clarify our value system on that and what we think.
And I'm not talking about like when we come in and we want to support each other. Listen, we're all here for a reason. We all want to grow. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm exactly talking about. Okay. But it's just about how you'll notice, and you just you'll notice as time goes on what I'm talking about. And then, eventually you're going to want to be with the people who are doing the correct things. Like, listen, you've all seen it, right? Where someone has, 10,000 subscribers or 5,000 subscribers and they're pumping out a video and they have like 100 views. Something's wrong there.
That's imbalanced. There's a disconnect.
Something is really wrong with that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go down that road. So I'm hoping that when you do these things where you're with the like-minded people to grow in a semi-organic way, because there is no like exact path on how to do it. And when we talk about organic, it may not be like, who's to say it's not like, 100% or 80 or 90, like you can't put a value on it. It's just depending on the level of where you are in your YouTube growth, of where you stand, that is like, that could be very different ways. Like I can't even figure out who subscribed to me, in the last 2 days. Like how the heck did I just pick up like, 10 subscribers in the last 2 days. Like, who
Right.
are these
Yeah.
people? I always try to find out who these people are and, like see if they have a YouTube channel. And then like crazy things happen, like where I find, some crazy people just subscribe to you. And I don't know how it happens, but I think streaming does a lot of wonders.
Streaming does a lot. And I'm going to talk about that in 1 second, actually. But, Will, I don't think I have that engaged. But you know what? Do me a favor. When this is done, there's the comment section below the video. Drop a link. I'd love to see. I'd love to see what you guys put out in the rapid fire, because I can only imagine it's insanity.
We got to make sure that we don't always like allow links and stuff in the chat, because it can get out of hand too with bots and with people just dropping links.
Yeah.
To
Otherwise, it's not a problem. But I'd love to see it. So please, in the comment afterwards, do that. I'll watch it. Patrick, I'm forcing myself to release one video a week for that very point. Trying not to get caught up in making things too perfect, but at the same time improving as I go. And ultimately, that is the best approach. It's just the best, like that's the most sane approach to any of this. Now, that being said, I've said this to myself a million times. Now, some people are going to say, you're trying to, I'm not. I do have a penchant for trying to do too much. So I have to constantly remind myself this thing that Patrick's talking about. It's always good to know that you're not the only one thinking those things, and you can never hear it enough.
Well, that's the thing too. You got to realize that we're having a lot of the similar problems that people with 50,000 subscribers are having.
Right. Absolutely.
So it doesn't change, because I really believe that you're always trying to get better. You're always trying to make sure that you have content that you're growing on.
More money, more problems. I mean, you get more subscribers, you have more problems. It's getting there is tough. Then you're there and you're like, well, that was actually the easy part. Now staying here feels like a different type of grind or a different type of fear. It's always going to be something. So Patrick, come here every week and tell me that same thing, and I just copy and paste it in here, because I totally get that. Yeah,
I could tell like the way Patrick approaches things. He approaches them thought out, and it's well thought out, and the way everything rolls. And like I think he knows that if he does just Mac stuff, then he's going to be like the Mac guy, and he doesn't want to be just the Mac guy. Or
and that's my biggest thing too. Like I don't want to, but that's tough, because if you don't have a single thing, then you start to feel like, well, I don't have a single thing. What are people going to come? But then I look around, I go, I have a bunch of things I'm interested in doing. It's a really complicated issue. And at the end of the day, just wipe it off the table and do it. I mean, I'm talking about doing a Go XLR review and knitting. they're still in the family. It's not like it's that broad, but at some point, it doesn't matter, right? Just do. Yeah. Jay and John, the 450-pound sumo tuber. I like it.
I was 301 pounds just myself last year.
I'm down to 188. So what does that make us? Do the math.
I'm 265.
Jesus, it's fine. I can't do this math.
So we're like, that would be 468.
Should we could do a mashup of us at 4 and could you imagine?
But
Brian always tries to be honest with his critiques. He comes. That's the thing. I agree. He always does.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I know also that his knowledge about things don't actually all slide over to YouTube too. I think that his production stuff is a little bit different, and then when he comes, he can bring that knowledge, and then he's going to have to tweak it in the YouTube sense. But the thing is, that's great, right? Is that people who don't have like a huge ego can sit in the same room and discuss these things about how this would work or how that would work. And even Brian and I, we go back and forth on a couple of things, but we don't, there's respect, right? We don't hold anything up about that fact of what he knows and I know. And then if he enlightens me, I'm that much better down the road, but the thing is, he knows that we'll take any kind of critiquing also in a proper way. Whereas some people, they say they want to be critiqued.
That's what I'm saying. Some people say they want to critique,
but holy crap, you say it, and then that's a whole other story. So I think you got to be ready for the truth when you get asked. When someone asks you to say, "Hey, give me the truth."
That's the thing. Look, I'll say it to musicians who ask me if they're getting started, and I'll say it to YouTubers. If you have an ego, you better get over it. You're gonna have to take your lumps, and you're gonna have to start asking questions and really mean it in order to learn here. I mean, yeah, getting out there and just doing it, but there's so many people out here with some great information. And here's the thing: even if you don't agree, not agreeing gives you some information that you didn't have before to bounce off of.
Yeah. Like you may think you don't agree with something because maybe you don't have all the information. So
Right.
then if you realize, oh, I didn't know that, and then now this piece of information holds up where it's true, it
Yep.
can actually put a puzzle together and then make you more knowledgeable about a topic. And I always love that. And me personally, I'm always the person that wants to have the hard discussion because I'm not going to be just sitting back and being like, oh, okay, I'll settle for that and be like, no, that guy's wrong. Like, tell me why. And then let's go back and forth.
You got to back it up. You can't just drop a nugget, run out of the room, and turn the mic off. We got to have a discussion about it. To be fair, I don't care for that. That's never been something I've seen Brian. Brian will sit there and take the response.
Yeah, because he has the knowledge.
Yeah,
he's not faking the knowledge.
No.
You know, it's not someone told him. You know, this is because that's the thing, right? People always bring this knowledge because somebody told me this, you know, but the fact of the matter is he's using the equipment and out there. And that's where I come in, where like I feel like I'm using these things too, like every day.
Yeah,
and so
I mean,
I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the cheaper cameras, you know what I mean?
Well, let's give it case in point. I'm going to, hey, what camera should I get? Brian's got so many camera thoughts and ideas, and he's like, hey, look, I'm just saying, you'd be better off at a full frame, maybe, you know, like an A7 R3 or something, whatever, right? Yeah, but I'm going to come back with, you may be right from what your perspective, but we're going to have this disconnect. That can happen because I'm going to be like, I'm a YouTuber. I'm never going to be good enough to really warrant spending $2,000 or whatever. And so that, but again, you need these questions to know why you would go cheaper. I wouldn't have felt good buying a camera at $1,000 had I not known that it's a right for me.
Yeah. Well, I believe, you know how I feel. It's like, unless you're a big YouTuber with some dough, or like you're a tech channel, like a big tech channel, that deals with cameras, there is really no reason to ever go above an A6400.
I agree. I'm really, really comfortable in what I'm seeing. And as I do my little slow-mos and my little blah, blah, blahs, and I'm going to find that this is going to meet my needs. What'll annoy me, what's going to annoy me is I'm going to quickly realize the A5100 is garbage as my B camera or as an extra, like a second camera.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't. No, because being a B or a C, or you know, like I said, you can sell it and just get something else next year. Or
I'm going to do that. I've got some thoughts. So I'll keep an eye out on the ZE10. If not, I may pick up a newer version of something. You know, we'll see what happens. There'll be something.
Also, you got to remember that, you know, even though I have one, the ZV-1, I could have literally picked up a ZV-1 for $550.
I know, it's on my brain. I have no problem.
No, $550.
I know. It's cheap. It's great deal. I know.
Because that was used, but I mean,
I know. I don't mind used. My 5100's used. So
no, it was like brand new. And what's hilarious is a lot of people that I'm buying, like that I see these things for sale, they either have a huge Instagram channel or they have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's true.
So they end up getting like a ZV-1, and then they realize like they need something as their A camera. They need something more.
Well, I hope you know it's not personal on the links. It's just to prevent stuff. But hey, when this thing wraps up here shortly, put the links down below.
If you don't do that here, a lot of times there's a lot of bots that you get, and they
it's
dump
spam city. And
they spam stuff,
and I don't.
So,
no one wants
plus,
that.
it could be not fit for the for people.
It could be, and then we had a problem with the video, and it's like so it's definitely a personal. We do want to see it, so dump it in there. I don't know what she's laughing at, but I just love it when she's laughing because I know it's at you.
I think she's laughing about the whole.
I think she's laughing at the sumo tuber.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think that's what that's from. There is a lot of crossover, but it is a different animal.
No. Listen, Brian's going to be ahead of the curve by a million, This is, but the thing is, like, and Brian will probably be honest with about this. Like, yeah, this knowledge stuff is going to be beneficial for me, but I also have to be comfortable in front of a camera. I have to, you know,
Well,
I don't know,
let's
I
be
don't know
honest,
like everything that he knows. So, you know, but there's always something that is something that's haunting you to learn.
look,
You know
we
what I mean?
all have a link in the chain here
Yeah.
that is a little kinked up.
Yeah,
So
mine's creativity.
yours is
I'm
creativity. Mine is kind of mastering some of the YouTube like content, you know, getting my shit together on that. And then Brian, I think it's just getting out there and being in front of the camera and going, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to take what I'm doing and get out there and be.
Brian makes me excited though. Like,
Well, of
I don't
course
know what
he
it
does. He's got
is.
so much potential. That's why.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't keep on like a year goes by from now and he's still not on.
Thank God.
But there's oh,
Thank you for
John
coming.
Pullum. Good night. Good night, John. But Brian is like he's gonna be like one of those people that if he gets started and going, I'm gonna be so excited for. You know what I mean? Because like that's what I want is like the group of people that we found here, like you and me and the you know Brian's and people like this, where you know like Ash seeing her stream and like before that she didn't stream, and it's just like things where people are growing and we are here along the way supporting it all and seeing it happen. It's very exciting. I love that.
I feel like and I feel this way about myself. Once for whatever that chain has got to be kind of fixed up and get you in the flow. Like for me, it's my system, and for I don't want to speak for Brian. Maybe Brian's just getting just that last piece of comfort zone.
I think
Like,
he's.
we're all going to just take. I think we're all going to be in the flow, and I like that idea that we're ready to go. And once you get to your guy, you'll be ready to go. You
He's
know?
getting closer and closer because
He
I
is.
know.
I know
can
he is. I
tell.
can see it in the streams.
I can see
right?
it too.
You see it in the live streams. He's getting a little bit comfortable with himself. We may have to take him down a peg. You know, he's getting a little too Bri now. And all of a sudden, he changes his name to Bri or something weird. You know, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Patrick, thank you for so much for stopping in. You stay cool. See you on Sundays.
Yeah.
And
always. I would still love to have a summer fling with.
I know we need a streamer.
Yeah.
So I always work that in there, don't I? A streamer fling, a streamer buddy fling.
I mean, if you get out here and you have a solid date, and that would be really cool to have like Patrick and Eric come up and get a group of us and do a stream. It would be awesome in here.
That'd be really lovely, really.
Oh my.
And you know what, Patrick?
Awesome.
Thanks for saying hit the like button. I don't do that enough. It's something. That's another thing I got to do is be a little more. I don't like hit every 5 minutes. But first of all, it's always lovely when somebody in the stream is kind enough to do it for you. I think that's powerful. But you know, we're okay to say, hey, man, if you haven't subbed, please do. It really does help. It helps us. We eventually want to give that back to you, right. and hitting the like button does help. So,
and if Lala's in New York City too at the same time.
Okay. Well, is Steve Worthy not that far?
I don't know. Oh, Steve's in Maryland, isn't
and
he?
our buddy from Pennsylvania there. Eric.
Yeah, I mean, we have a decent amount of people around here.
And then of course,
yeah,
Sammy.
Because we got getting junk done. Getting junk done is right down in South Jersey too.
You could easily have like 10 or 12 people by the time you're done.
Yeah. And then we'll go over to Sammy's house and just
we're just gonna eat all the food in the refrigerator and make
have signs out front, wave to Sammy.
Could you imagine?
Sammy's in the window.
We're like, oh, SM7Bs are overrated.
That'd be great though. I can't wait. Here to ask a question about the M50 because he knew he'd find the right answer. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just
a good
my
spot
experience
for that question, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my two things that I would basically get if I was going to spend 1,000 or under, and he knows this, and I know this, is basically an M50 Mark II, or I would be getting a 6400. Those are the two main cameras. But
and it's so funny because and I told you the other day I have a client that's getting set up to do her a YouTube. She's got great content. She's ready to go, but she didn't have the gear.
Right.
And I just kind of looked around. I'm like, I know you can afford the 6400, but as a person, you need the M50 for her because it's going to be just such a better technical relationship.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah, and that's knowing that's knowing the person, right? So when you know the person, you're like, listen, they're going to struggle. If they're struggling on their phone, you know, then they got to get a camera.
Now, of
It's
course,
gonna be
Will's not going to
amplified.
be struggling to figure out an M50 or probably a Sony. But
Right.
if you are looking at the M50, even as a Sony 6400 parent, I would love to actually have one. Like if I didn't have to deal with maybe lens issues or some other cost that I don't want to deal with.
I'm really happy with it. Really happy.
Beautiful camera, man. I mean, there's a reason why people had to go back and say, oh, my bad. Actually, it's a good camera.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, and just remember, it's not a DSLR, it's a mirrorless in case that matters to you. You know, but if you want a DSLR, you can get a 80 or a 90D is really good. The 90D is a good camera. But and because I don't know what he wants to use it for, right?
No, just general. But
if
it sounds like he made up his
DSLR,
mind. Maybe. I'm sorry.
no, I'm just saying if he's like looking for, say he's going to put on like some bigger zooms, having a DSLR that's a bigger, beefier camera with some nice grips on it, you know, it's better for like a photographer shooter. But if you're looking for a smaller compact camera that does just as much, then the M50 Mark II is awesome.
I'm really, really happy too that the 6400's got a bit more grip and weight to it than the it's not over big. And so when I get the rig for it and stuff, I think that's going to be a nice size vlogger for me. I'm excited for that.
And then it's like people don't realize like they upped the bit rate by 20, you know, like you have I think 120 bit rate in that, right, as your max, and that came from 100. So you know, people don't realize that because 4K is not 4K the same everywhere. When you get 4K, like for an instance, a Canon EOS R can shoot 4K at it's 10 bit, okay, at 480 megs per second. 400, you know how much information that is. That's why you have to buy faster cards that cost more. How much room that would take up. But you know, there's a benefit to that if you need that. But it's a good camera. You should be like ecstatic about it.
It's definitely as advertised so far. I'm really excited to get. I'm glad it came at this time. I mean, we've talked about it. I'm glad that I spent so much time with the 5100 to really learn some raw things, figure some things out. And this is such a more of a camera. I don't know how else to say it. I'm glad it didn't come sooner, and it's come at a perfect time to start reeling off these videos. And so for me, it's just kind of worked out. I couldn't be more happier about it. I'm just going to run through this. I see Mama's in the house too. I want to get to her. Quickly. Your weakest link is talking coherently. It is not. I've heard you talk. That's no. And Will's going to write you scripts.
The way you talk and the way you come about yourself,
you've got a vibe,
very inviting, actually.
Yeah, no, man,
you're going to be just fine. Trust me.
I am going to have to go to Indianapolis, slap that out of him, because that is absolutely not at all a problem.
No, and you can't use that much longer because it doesn't work for us. So
he says a producer at O Station calls him Bri. That's funny.
Bri.
So what sounds awesome?
Us meeting up, I think she's talking.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because she's gonna say she'll join us virtually, and that would be absolutely, you know.
Oh, it'd be so great to have you.
That would be so awesome.
One way or the other.
I would love that. That'd be great.
I have to say, a mirrorless is definitely a great way to go.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much saying that he wants a smaller camera that he can use on his trip and stuff. And so that is going to be a great camera. And I think the price point is just really good. And that lens that you get with it is it's on par with the lens that you get with the 6400, you know, so you got a little zoom, and then it's effective. But if you can find your way around a camera easily and well, you know, here's the thing. Like, I like the Canon because the viewfinder is really good. The picture of the screen. I
do like the viewfinder, by the way, on the 64.
Yeah, the 6400 was an upgrade on that viewfinder from the previous model.
It is, and it's really good.
So but I was saying is the Canon M50 is a great camera for people that want to do both. Where I think if a person wants to do strictly video and streaming, then the 6400 is the way to go.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of people that would back this statement up, that a lot of people feel that the 1080p out of a Canon M50 even looks better than out of a 6400. But when you go to 4K, that goes out the window twofold. The 4K is unbelievable in the Canon, And the only thing you always have to watch for with the Canon camera, especially the full frames, is the over sharpening. And then once you kick that back a little bit, then the picture looks much more realistic. It's a lot of the cameras are.
I guess
sharp.
we'll get down to there. I was just saying here, I'm actually using my really old go-to camera. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which camera that is, but I'd be curious. Had to change to a mirrorless a few years ago because of the bulk and weight. Yep. But now I'm able to use it for streaming. So that's cool. It's great that you can get some use out of it. That's the thing. I'm going to get some use. Hey, let me ask you guys while we're here, Brian and Will or whoever wants to comment on this. So, okay. So we got I'm going to change looks on here real quick. So I've done nothing here. Obviously, it could do better light and this and that. On a look like this or something for a B camera, what are we looking at for maybe a different lens? Okay, I already have a 16 on here for this particular shot, the main shot, right? What do we think? Do we something like a 24 or a go for the 30 for the Sigma? Do you think might be a good something different? I need something, but I need something with a little better f-stop.
You can't have a 30 up there, bro. It's way it's way too close.
Well, I mean, I got so much room to push back, but
yeah, you have 5 feet.
I have 20 feet if I want it. I got a lot of feet
up
down.
In the air.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
if you do a 30,
go back and down yet.
You're at 16 right now, aren't you?
16
mil.
Yeah, on this right
no,
here.
on the one above you. Oh, you're 50.
This is the stock.
Yeah, 16 to 50.
Yeah.
So
if it's all the way in, yeah. Okay, so 16.
Right. So imagine if it was 30, then it would have to be that much further back.
Well, they do have a 24.
Yeah. What you need to do is I don't know, it's a hard call because you don't want to make sure you want to spend the right money.
That's I know that's a tough one.
See, to me, I would just keep that on there.
Yeah.
Because it's otherwise you're going to spend money that's.
But if you want to use it for a second cam for a multicam to get shots when you're doing stuff, I don't know.
The only other thing is,
I guess in good light it'd be fine, and just kind of use it at a rough second shot.
Yeah, I think you got to question, like, get your settings set on everything, and then get your white balance set on that picture, and then see how it comes out.
Yeah,
I don't think it's bad to begin with, but remember when you're over the top of this. You need to be wide to capture your desktop if that's what you're going to use it for. So you're going to need like a 16 to be low like that. The only thing is you could pick up like a 16 with a lower, f-stop. I think that's at 3.5. I mean,
yeah, it's just too much.
It's not bad though. I mean,
it's not bad. No, it can work with the right light. It's just I don't know. It's the light. I'll white balance a little bit too and see what we're going to do. But Will's heading to Ireland in September, which I think is awesome. We've been talking about doing that. I'm really excited and want a good camera. I think the M50 is going to be perfect for this walkabout in Ireland. Oh my God, the colors you're going to get in Ireland. Jeez. I'm so jealous. That's a trip I want to take here. Now things are lightening up a little bit.
I want to do Scotland and Ireland too.
Yeah. And just to finish that off. Yeah, Scotland.
Before I get scared to fly, even.
I know. Yeah, talking to the kids and stuff. Yeah. Lala says it's a Canon 5D Mark II.
That's a good camera.
That's a great camera. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that camera was the camera back in probably 2010, but the thing is, they actually one guy this past year did a review on that camera and an M50, and being that camera is a full frame camera, there was actually better in the pictures. There was better low light and highlights, and the dynamic range was greater than an M50. So it wasn't like always better with that camera, but that camera still stacks up pretty decent in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about this.
You could have worse cameras, that's for sure.
I think she's set. Brian, yeah. This is true. It depends.
Yeah, I think you got to think that out a little.
Well, that's why I asked you guys, because I have my own thoughts, and you guys are mimicking the thoughts, which that reinforcement can hardly help. And I think he's right here as well about don't really need a lot of shallow depth.
No, I don't think so.
Camera, so again, it gets down to that's not really probably where the money is better spent.
I would I think you should get something versatile like an 18 to a 135 Sony. you know, where that way you can go out and take pictures and listen. I mean,
Jesus, how
here's
much
the
is that going to
fact.
cost?
Lens, no, well, you could pick them up. You could pick them up used for like 250,
Yeah,
300.
that's not bad actually.
New is like five.
Yeah,
But the thing is, Sony's lenses are very expensive, so you got to
yeah,
kind of figure out what you want. But the Sigmas that you can get, just look at the Sigmas right over the Sonys anyway.
that's what I've been doing just for right now for
Yeah,
private.
and then see where you want to go with money. That's the whole thing. But people say, you know, you can get good depending on what you want to use it for. Like I was thinking about getting the 6400 with the 18 to 135 because then if my son's doing a soccer game or he's just started playing rugby, actually,
Yeah,
that I can use that to zoom in a decent amount and not like I don't want to bring. Necessarily don't want to bring my Canon EOS R to to a game like that. I'd rather
right.
bring a 6400 with a lens and the burst shooting on your camera is incredible.
Yeah, I'm anxious to try some of the stuff out, man.
Because
It's gonna be great to have some tools that you can use. If that's for me, that's why the 6400 was cool. I just felt like I had enough of these different tools. That's where I want to put my time and effort into the editing, I guess, more so than just editing itself. In other words, I don't really want to be in there just doing animations for animation's sake. Some of these people do that. That's great. I kind of want to work with the footage and create different looks of footage. And so if I have some options, that'll be kind of neat. If it isn't that, of course, I know that obviously the Canon can do really great slow-mo as well. So that's really not a huge issue. But for me,
no, it doesn't actually. It
no,
doesn't do great. No, because
it's going to be
here's the
important
thing.
for me. I'm going to want to use that. That's something
Yeah,
in my
me
eye
too.
that I
And that's
have.
why I have a 6400 in my sights, you know, because I want autofocus with the slow motion. And
Right.
the 6400 will do that.
Yeah, it looks great. I've been playing a little bit with it. Well, I appreciate this input. This is great input, and especially again, I know where it's coming from. And with his producer hat on, he says, "I like the rig you have now on your B camera. I like that looks a little noir. Yeah, it kind of has a little more of a I'm looking in on you perspective, more so that than being all perfected. So it has a little bit more of an eyeball in, and there is something to that. I don't want everything to be all glitz and that. I just wanted to make sure that I had, the truth of it is, as I'm shooting video footage and I have the right lighting, that lens is going to look really good for just have B-side footage. I don't need to overthink it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's I agree 100%. So,
So really, I think I just need to live with it and do things with what I have. I don't want to put money into something unless I know for sure what I want. So I
Right.
think that's all really excellent advice, guys. I really
Now I think you're really thinking.
Okay. Well, I start to usually think this time of the time, just 3 hours in.
But the only good thing is, like, say you do get something,
Short-sighted.
you have the 6400, so the E mount will, it crosses right over. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying if you wanted to get something that had a little, zoom on it, where you had the 18 to 135, that could be cool. Or I know there's better lenses out there. I think most people prefer the 24 to 105 for the Sony actually. So look at that lens too.
Okay. It says it's called short sighting because it's supposed to build tension and drama. I can see that. And those are the kind of things. Again, these guys are dealing with stuff that are a little above our pay grade. I do understand using music or visuals to build tension, and then you put them together, man. That's something. Like so you take that kind of video framing and you take the music aspect of it. That's kind of stuff I enjoy. That's
By the way, I liked your intro music. That was awesome. It's
Dig
something
that?
it's something I wanted to do. Like when I came in to switch the music right there,
Yeah.
and like it was so good, and the music is perfect. So I think that was awesome.
I like this, and I've not been copy struck since I had my conversation with Sonata.
What about the ones that
Still not unhinged. Still the first three I got nailed on for the same song, and they claim they're working on it and they seem to be good about it. And I talked to them at length. They really seem to be like, yeah, we get it, man. You're in our meetings because it doesn't make sense. So in the last few streams, I went with the music.
Okay.
And I've not been copy struck since. So that's a good sign because I really, really like their library, especially for the money.
It just seems like it's so much. It's real music.
It's just real music, which is kind of the complication of it.
Everything's so synthesized.
Yeah, I respect what anybody wants to do, but for me, I just like the real music. You and I, you do too, and I think that's your background and your sensibility. And I kind of want to do like we are doing some things that are going to overlap, but I kind of want to do things that aren't so what everybody's doing. I don't want to do the same music. I don't want to do the same everything.
Right.
Not that avant-garde.
Same countdown. I don't want to be somebody else. I want to be myself.
I want to find my thing, and that music was my thing. That's why I was devastated when I got copy struck, and that's why I've been working with them so hard. And to the credit, they've been responsive, and they're like, we're working on it. We know the distributor. We found the problem. We're working on it. It's complicated. It's contractual. Right. When you add they I think Epic and these other places, a lot of that music is in house. They don't have the chain of dealing with the artist and the distributor for the artist. Right. And when you start adding those two things in the mix, it starts to create all sorts of problems. So as we finish up here, Brian's like, I want the Sigma 2870F28 for my setup.
I have the Canon version of that, and the L version. I have the L2 version, and we know how good that is. And that Sigma lens is absolutely exactly on par with that. So cool. It's literally hundreds of dollars less.
Is it? Yeah.
I think the 28 to 70 is $1,100 or I think it's $1,000, and I think the Canon version is like $1,600.
Wow.
So it's an and if I was gonna get one a Sony, which like I would love an A7 S3, but or a AC7 or an A7C, I should say, with that Sigma lens, amazing.
I'm trying to unpack what he's saying here. It's the contemporary lens that gives a little in image quality to make it small and okay. Yeah. All right. That's so it's the trade-off he's saying, right?
I think it smaller. Yeah, it's not like, well, I wish I could show you the lens that I have here, but I can't right now. But it's because I have my cameras used up. Right. That's why I need more cameras. More and
more.
But
I have 16 cameras in my room.
Because I have power hooked up here and stuff. But the 24 to 70, it's kind of like somewhat compact. It's not like a huge lens, because it's not super telephoto. But I love it because you got the 24, you got the 35, you got the 50 all in there at 2.8, which is really good. Which I love primes, but
yeah.
I also have an 85 prime, a 50 prime, so I have all those things. But in 18 through 35 is
what is the f-stop on that 18 to 35?
That is 1.8, I believe, on that, which is is one I've been looking at, and I just know that they've had firmware issues for I think the Canon on some of those, but that 18
the Canon is 749 version.
Yeah. I like that lens a lot, and I've eyed it up, and I can find it here and there, but it's literally used. The cheapest I found was like $550.
Hey, remember, guys, we had that discussion, guys, about me wanting to shoot my wood shop when I build the Cajon instruments. I went on B&H, and they just have dust bags you put over the top. You can use them for waterproof or whatever, but they're like $2 like bags. You put them and then seal them up, I guess. That's the way to do it, but it still makes me nervous.
Yeah, then it's going to overheat.
Well, it could be an issue.
Any camera, like I would use a GoPro.
That might be the answer.
Yeah, like I would just feel good about it because it's sealed. Yeah. And so who cares? Let a GoPro sit in there for for a GoPro 7, right? $250, and you can find them all over for sale from somebody for $200.
Well, that might be the way to go. Honestly, yeah, I'm not really loving the idea of sticking a
because we're poor YouTubers.
Yeah,
this is your baby. You just
it is my baby. It's the last thing I need is a dust thing getting in there. So I'm like, oh, I don't know, but $2 bags didn't really make me happy.
Not gonna make me happy. I'll tell you.
So again, rather than buying the lens I really don't need, I think the answer to this is look for a GoPro. Even
or something of that similar, which doesn't have to be a GoPro too. There are cheaper ones.
Yeah.
Like the Osmos are even cheaper.
Anything that gives me a down and dirty 1080.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yep.
That's a great, you know what, John? That's a fantastic idea. honestly. Plus, I can use it for other things.
I'm thinking like what would make me feel comfortable. You know?
Yeah, I'm not comfortable taking my camera in there, but I know I have to deal with this issue, and so I'm a little bit annoyed. And you're right, the heating is going to be an issue. If you're just a photographer, which is what I think they use it mostly for, okay, fine. But man, putting a bag on there in the summer, sticking it's not going to work. It's not going to work out.
Run 4K in that. You'll have like 5 minutes. You'll have like 3 minutes. And
it's not going to work out. I don't know what he's laughing at, but I just wanted to put it up there. 1.8, yep. Ziploc bags are fine. Yeah, but again, I'm worried about the video aspect of that. Like, they are going to get hot. Shit, I'm at my 51's crapping out at like 3 minutes.
Basement.
Yeah, in the basement, controlled. And I'm not comfortable with putting a 6400
so much better. Actually, Potato Jet did a video, and he had the Canon EOS R, and he had the 6400 running in 90-degree weather outside, and he couldn't get the EOS R to overheat where he had it, right? And the Canon and the 6400 took 25 minutes to overheat. Now, granted, that's in 95-degree weather shooting 4K, both of them. And you have to realize 4K for the Sony was only 120 megabytes per second. It was 480 so that much more information. The Canon still wouldn't overheat until he put it down in the direct sunlight on a cinder block. And then it overheat finally. He got a overheating sensor, went off.
You really think that if you got holes in the bottom, aren't you gonna get the dust in there? I don't know.
Have fun. You guys could do that. I mean, I'm not doing that, but you guys could do that. No
I'm
way.
Curious, Brian,
if
you
there's
ever
someone
done
else's
that?
camera, I'll do it, but not mine.
I'm just curious. Has Brian ever shot in? Look, it's not that dusty where I'm at. I have a vacuum system that gets 95% of the dust, but it only takes one piece of dust to screw up $1,000 camera. So, I guess
the other thing is you have a sealed camera. The 64
the 6400,
but your lens, you don't have a sealed lens.
That's the issue. Well, you could put maybe some kind of clear filter on. Some people put like an ND. No,
it's not sealed. You can't put it. It's the other side that connects. It has to have weathers. It has to have like a seal.
Brian and I are spending that sweet PBS money.
Yeah, like if I'm using someone else's camera, I don't give a crap. But
you're like, I just put some gaff. I put a little gaff tape on the bottom of that PBS
camera.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, did that go to crap? I got some dust in it. Don't worry about it.
What sucks is I love cameras and I just love them, and it's crazy. But I have no need for anything better than like a 6400.
Yeah,
but I would love to have that C7, A7C, I should say. I would love. It's just I don't know why. I don't know why.
Well, I'll keep. What I'll do is I'll buck up. I'll figure this dust thing out. But they're insured. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they're insured. The engineering department. It's all going to work out. That's the thing, man. Where's my engineering department? And my wife barely insures like my life.
I'll tell you what. I dropped down to 400 subscribers.
You're like, oh no!
I lost 100 on the
He
stream.
lost 100 instantly
On the stream.
Oh, that's too bad. We don't break her either out of her job. Yeah, see, you got to keep the engineers going. They have to be valid, and that's why John keeps me here. John just tries to find ways to keep me valid, keep me in the loop here.
I don't know if I find anything.
You do fine. So I think I'm good. I'm really happy with the camera. Obviously, I've got a lot to learn, so I'll have a lot of things to say as I start to actually do recorded video. I'm really happy with the streaming video, just out of the box. I have nothing to complain at this moment about how it feels, looks, operates. I think it's been a home run so far. And that's not easy when you spend $1,000 on a camera, right? It's easy to find faults and things you're a little bit let down about, but it feels so far so good. The battery is so much better than the 5100.
Oh, because is it the same battery or?
Yeah,
but it's just new.
Yeah, I got it.
The same.
Nah, it might be the same, but it's the battery definitely lasts longer.
It's a new battery, thank God. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're good. I'm going to paint down here some gray. So I appreciate Danielle for hitting me that. I'll probably have to go back to chat to find out what the Stonehenge or whatever that stones. I don't know what it was.
Hamstrong or something.
I don't know what it is, but I'll go back and track it down.
Strong
hand. Plus, you're married to her. I'll be able to hunt it down. And
Yes.
I think we're going to wrap up. I appreciate everybody that's been here. Will, it's so great to see you come in. I hope we see you again. And you bring you're like Brian, you bring some really great wisdom, but you also bring some great levity. I do appreciate that. Okay, what is it? All right, let me check it out. Got it.
Here he goes.
It's a $56 underwater housing he says that'll keep the dust out. All right. Well, let me just, before we go and I forget, I'll put it up here on the, 50. Okay, I'll find it. I know what that is. I'll check it. I'll check out everything, man. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
I'll check it out. I'm still nervous about that. But yeah, Brian, thanks for dragging Will in here. You must have something.
Will, it's great to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely great to meet you. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, I think he's going to be happy with.
Oh my God, yeah.
With the Canon M50.
Yeah, especially what he's talking about using it for. It's gonna be awesome. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. John, we'll see you this Thursday.
We'll see you Thursday.
You're gonna be doing something on your new rig?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over 2 different, vlogging rigs, and just go over them really quick and tell you my opinions on them. And then after that, I think we're just going to chat it up and tell you about some of the stuff I've been working on, see how people are doing in the chat and where we settle in. I'm hoping like always that we get a couple new people, strolling in, and who knows what can happen. So
you never know. I want to say goodnight to, first of all, we totally get the pumpkin thing. That's why I appreciate it, because I know it's later, probably for you, and I'm glad you feel it was worth it. I should really try to keep these at 2 hours, but it was so fun talking to you guys and hanging out tonight.
I think we should do 4 hours. But
no, I know. Yeah,
good night, Mom.
Good night, Marlene. It was so great to see you. Oh, I can't believe Lala was still here. Great listening to all of you again.
Lala, thank you. You're awesome. I wonder if Lala is doing a stream tomorrow morning.
Probably. She's streaming.
Nice listening while preparing. Oh, so she is doing a crafty stream.
She's preparing.
Yeah, because I usually catch her at about 8 o'clock in the morning, my time, Eastern. So
yeah. I get her a little later, so it's good.
Yeah. I'm at work, so I just usually put her on and say hi and see what everybody's making.
It's very therapeutic sometimes when you're watching them do their crafts. I don't know why. It's just like calming. It's kind of like,
well, you know what it is though? For me, I like Lala.
Well, if you don't watch somebody you don't like, I
just like her. I like her. She's a good person, and
there's also something about her energy in the morning that I think sets a good tone for the day.
Her energy always,
right? I know, but I'm just saying, if you're watching in the morning, it's nice because
it's relaxing. You're right, it is, because it's like relaxing, it's chill. See what people are doing, and I like them, and they're just there's good people there. So, and that's that thing is right. It's like what I always talk about and what I get excited. You see me perk up, like as soon as it's just good. I love great energy. It just makes me so happy, and that's what I love.
We love positivity. We really do. And we'll keep trying to bring that out as we go and build. And I'm looking forward to Thursday and seeing your deal. And I know you'll have some other streams coming up, but let's get to Thursday, have a good time. And,
that's all. We're going to have Thursday. We got a 3-day weekend coming up. So I just want to go over some vlogging things, because I did spend some time a little bit now using both setups, and so I just want to go over them in general and discuss it for a little bit, and then we could just go off on anything we want.
Sounds good. All right.
Alrighty.
We're gonna head out of here. We're gonna get out of here with some cool tunes. All right, everybody. I appreciate again everybody who's here, everybody, and we will see you guys on Thursday. John, I will talk to you soon, my friend. Out ya.
He's gonna leave me in here.
I always do that. That is so funny. That's awesome stuff right there. That'll be for the blooper reel, everybody. Deep down, I probably knew that. Back at you, Lala. Have a great night. The one thing that I know is stronger. Love is blind and no one's perfect. Platinum seems so shallow. But you are bright, white gold.